Eagles. Eagles.
The Philadelphia Eagles just dropped 55 points and are headed back to the Super Bowl, JAKIB Nation. What a statement win. This team just absolutely dominated Washington from start to finish in one of the most explosive games in NFC Championship history. Jalen Hurts was sensational. The offense unstoppable. The defense made life miserable. And this now marks the second trip to the Super Bowl in 3 years for the Philadelphia Eagles. But first, Big Sills, 55 points in an NFC Championship game. How incredible is that?
Incredible, dominating, took the whooping board out and just absolutely beat the living shit out of that team. I'll tell you something else too, Zander. My wife was watching. She goes, with all the injuries and with everything that went on, they just manned up and went out there with grit and toughness, and they just took it to them. And I'm going to go here. Hey, man, Hurts was great. Barkley was great. AJ was great. The defense was sensational. When you see that amount of turnovers, how about this? You want to hear this? This is the most complete game in the game that the Eagles have played all year long. There is no doubt the most significant game of the year. They played their best football game of the year. Everybody stepped up. Quinyon Mitchell was great. How about the way that Landon Dickerson battled? And then you put Juergens back in. Hurts was great. He was. He was great in the run game. He was great in the pass game. And on top of that, AJ showed up. They deserved to punch their ticket to New Orleans. Make no mistake about it. It was their best performance of the year.
Unbelievable performance to do that in an NFC title game. And look at this, but it really is. And I'm happy you said that, because it's just to show up in this game, in this moment, with this magnitude, and have your best game of the year. I mean, that's unbelievable. But let real quick. All right, look at this. Brian Pumper with 50. He is famous on the JAKIB chats.
Holy
and he
shit.
checks in with a $50 banger and says this: man of my word, Jalen Hurts deserves all the praise. The kid did it again. I can't even hate. One more game. Let's go, Brian Pumper.
Hey, I got to tell you this, guys. So prior to the program, Xander's like, you're not going to be fucking. I'm going like, you didn't even give me a chance to do this. And I'm going to say, and I'm with Brian, kudos to Xander. Yeah. Kudos to the kid. He really played great. I'm talking now, to me, the most valuable player of that game was the guy you picked. It was Jalen Hurts. Yep. Even though Barkley, dude, first
touchdowns, first play of the game. So wait, real quick. 7 rushing touchdowns, dude. 7 rushing touchdowns in an NFC Championship. And how about that no-holes defense? How about that no-holes defense again, man? Unbelievable.
There is no question. Dude, they really played well. By the way, I didn't really think that Jayden Daniels played all that poorly. They just had –
I thought he played all right.
Get this. Barkley, Hurts, and really, Zander, when you see this, when Hurts, Barkley, AJ, and the defense show up, I'm not sure anybody can beat them. Hey, on kudos on the other end, too, for the half Eagle. I got to tell you, man, I thought Zach Ertz, that's as good as I've seen Zach Ertz play.
Pretty amazing.
In a long time. 11 catches, 104, and how he played. He kept a lot of that stuff going, man, but kudos to the Eagles, man. They move on to their third Super Bowl in 8 years. That's their third NFC Championship, with a shot to take on the winner of tonight's AFC game between the Bills and the Chiefs. I got to tell you, man, complete ass beating. 55 points they put on the Washington Commanders. The Commanders are going to be around for a while, but boy, I got to tell you, man, that's just an absolutely awesome performance on what they did in that football game across the board. 229 yards. Get this, Zander. 229 yards rushing and 230 yards passing. that's as good as it gets when it comes to balance.
Unbelievable. Brian Pumper with a 50. And now here we go. I want to announce something here on the show because the Philadelphia Eagles are going to the Super Bowl, everybody. Now, I will say, and we're going to dive into everything that happened in this game. We're going to break it down. We're going to start to preview and look ahead, obviously, to the big Super Bowl. And I am going to, as excited as I am right now, I am going to channel a little bit of my Kobe Bryant. All right. The job's not finished. We've been here. Right? We saw this. We've been down this road. We were here 2 years ago. Okay. And we got to finish the job. So we can't overreact to this, but this is an unbelievable moment. And look at this, Jason A-Team. Now, everybody, every single person, all right, that drops a super chat on today's show. Okay. Every dollar, I will take it. And I will go and stock up on the JAKIB giveaways. I'm looking to do 3, 4, 5 giveaways a day for the next 2 weeks so that I can give away stuff all week long, 2 weeks long, to the great people of JAKIB Nation. So if you drop a super chat today, it'll be taken and given right back to the people of the channel. Jason A-Team, thank you so much, man. $100 super chat. He says, this is such an amazing year. Q's int was awesome along with Shipley's runs. Jordan Davis sack was huge.
Yeah.
One more game, Hurts was cooking today. 50 burger on the commies. But Barkley is a godsend. The whole team is what Philly should look like. NFC champs, how you doing, baby?
Hey, man. Hey, congratulations, man. I mean, it was a complete dominant performance and in every way, shape, or form. I mean, dude, what is more impressive, too, you know, again, my wife's a rugby coach. She's watching it going, look at the toughness of this team.
Yeah.
Look how tough they are. Look how they're not putting up with any shit. Look at the way that they play. Next guy up mentality. Orton Burks had a heck of a football game.
Yeah, man. How about that punch out? Three punch out Sills. This team is so good at that.
Absolutely. And by the way, that's coached when you're looking at that. But Jalen Hurts, man, 20 of 28, 246, a touchdown. Hurts had 3 rushing touchdowns. He had 4 TDs in the ball game. I mean, absolutely sensational. I thought AJ showed up once again. Goddard was fantastic, not only there, but in the run game. How about Zach Bond all over the football field the way he was? The 2 leading tacklers. Well, here, let's do this. Bobby Wagner had a heck of a game, and so did, by the way, Frankie Louvu. Yeah. But Xander, I'm wrong on this one. The best linebacking core were the Eagles.
Dude, Zach Bond. And Orton Burks, you said it. Orton Burks stepped up, man. Unbelievable what this defense did, man. It really is a remarkable – it's been a remarkable year all along. And now with the benefit of being able to look back and look at how far they've come, you know, especially from last year, it's truly an unbelievable thing that this team is advancing again. And I also want to say to everybody, I have it on. I obviously don't have the audio on, but, you know, the team is celebrating now out there. Jalen Hurts is now holding on to the NFC Championship trophy. And you can tell he's a little less smiley this time around. I think that's intentional. I think he knows I got one more to win. All right. This is great. What a great accolade for us and this team in this city. But we got to gear up now for a Super Bowl because Sills, this team's going to win the fucking Super Bowl. This team's going to win the Super Bowl. I can already say you just saw a game where even you are now thinking this team is inevitable, baby.
You play like that, man, against the Chiefs. I don't give a shit who you are, man. And you know where it is? It's on the other side of the ball. Your defense is better. Hey, let's put this out there right now. No matter what happens, the 24 defense is better than the 22 defense. And let's say it again, even with the depth of the O-line, the strength of the O-line, it did not matter who was in there and who wasn't in there. You had 230 yards freaking rushing in there with guys moving in and out of the center guard position, and you were still able to knock them off the ball. Unbelievable performance. I'll tell you this. What am I now, Zander, 5 years now covering this?
This is the 4th season. We're going to go on 5 seasons next year.
5 seasons in April on the draft, right?
So you're more like 4.5 years, but 4 seasons of football you've been covering.
This is the best game I've seen the Eagles play in my 5 years.
You know, and I'll say this, and obviously you're my guy, and everybody knows that. And, you know, but my favorite part about this game and this scenario and everybody in the chat who's saying, you know, Sills, eat your crow. I think what some people don't understand about you is this is why you bark, because this is what you want to see, right? And this team achieved greatness today and near perfection. And that's the entire way Sileo approaches the game. And you look, Was this Jalen Hurts' best game of the year?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think so. NFC Championship game. I think the two best games in his career now are an NFC Championship game and a Super Bowl.
Yes.
I mean, I love that about him.
This is the best game he's played in 2 years. Okay?
Yep.
And he picked the NFC title game to do it in, Zander. Okay? I mean, look. You know, yeah, you guys had to see it. Me and Zander going back and forth.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Hey, man, listen, believe me, me and him love one another like brothers. And so we're going back and forth, but I'm telling you, man, he goes, this motherfucker's not going to give this team the love the thing. I got to tell you, man. I got to tell you. Angelo's coming on also on Monday, and I know he's going to be also doing the same shit that I'm going to be doing. Zander, it's the best performance since the Super Bowl in Arizona.
Yep, and it's
in
unbelievable.
A game that mattered.
55 points, dude.
Unbelievable.
I mean, that is insane. Is that the first?
Do you know how rare that is to see that kind of points? And dude, the NFC game has been played, I think, since 1970. Okay, the NFC Championship game's been played since 1970. I can guarantee you, there's probably a handful of ball games, Zander, that you see a 50 burger in there. That is absolutely great. That's what you want to see that team play like. And when that team plays like that, Zander, when they throw the ball and run the ball like that, I'm not sure there's a lot of teams that can beat them.
No doubt about it, man. Jalen, look, if this defense is going to play like this consistently and Jalen Hurts is going to be able to make plays like he did today, which again, I mean, just an unbelievable. I really thought he was phenomenal today. I really did. I mean, and hey, how about the knee? I thought he ran well. I know he didn't have too many yards. I think he had, 16 yards? But he looked pretty explosive, and he also had one big run that was taken off the board from a Landon Dickerson holding. But I thought he looked really explosive in the game. I thought the knee was a non-factor, and he looked really good, man, delivering the ball, getting the ball out of his hands. I thought, you know what, Sills? I even thought he was better on the sacks. You've been talking about the sacks, and I know he had the one sack to Louisville, which took you out of field goal range, but I thought he was able to get the ball out a little bit better, throw the ball away in certain moments. I thought everything that we talked about with Jalen this year, I thought he did. He upped his game today and really answered the bell.
I thought one of the plays and one of the ways that he played today versus where Jayden Daniels didn't play, Jayden Daniels took the sacks. Hurts threw the ball away, not taking the minus yardage. That also was a factor.
Yep.
Jalen didn't mind. I mean, look at his stats in the game. He was 20 of 28, and he must have had at least 5 throwaways because of pressure coming up the middle. And by the way, that one sack, I don't believe it was on him. I think it was on what I had talked to you about in the pregame on the communication between Steen and both with Dickerson. With Dickerson, how about Dickerson playing the way he played? His knees killing him. He still went in and out of the ball game too. I thought that sack was more on really the communication in the middle in there. No doubt about it. Without a question, everybody stepped up in the biggest moment, and it was a great, great, great win for the Philadelphia Eagles. And that's the best win that I've seen. I'm going to say this. Was that better than the 2022 NFC Championship, 23 NFC Championship game? Absolutely.
Yeah.
This team's better than that team.
I agree.
They stamped their mark. Now with a shot, how about this, Zander? You're 60 minutes from your second Lombardi trophy.
And you're 60 minutes away from being the greatest team in Philadelphia Eagles history.
Yes. Yes, because here's the difference between this team and the 17 team. There were 2 lead actors in that team and in that series. They were Nick Foles and they were Carson Wentz. Here you've got one guy that could lead this team across the finish line. And I'll say it one more time to you, man. If they do this the last 4 years and all of it is validated, I think it also will enhance Nick Sirianni's visibility and how people see him. If they close this deal out and win this Super Bowl, it's going to be interesting to see if Kansas City can get by Josh Allen, because I think that's who the Eagles want. I think they want Kansas City, and I think they want to get justice on what happened in that Super Bowl 2 years ago.
You remember a couple days ago, I told you, hey, man, I want the Bills. I'd rather play the Bills. Fuck that.
Yeah,
I want
you want the Chiefs.
I
man.
want the Chiefs, man.
You
I want
Bucks.
I want to write this story. I want to correct every narrative. I want Jalen Hurts to continue on this tour of making everybody shut up. So pretty unbelievable stuff, no doubt about it, man. 55-23 is your final. Sills, how about this too? Jalen Hurts will be the first quarterback in Philadelphia Eagles history to start 2 Super Bowls. Never had a quarterback make it there twice.
Fantastic.
Pretty amazing.
You know what? I think people that are going Sills wrong again. Yeah. Did you see how many people on First Take and also on Get Up pick Washington? The entire panel did.
Hey, look, I think Sills gave good credit to this team today, man. And look, that's like I said, that's what you look for. You come from it with I want greatness. And look, when Jalen plays like he does, look at what this team is capable of. 55-23.
Unbelievable.
55 points.
Tremendous game. Would you not agree? This is the best game he's ever played as an Eagle.
I would say maybe because of the
stakes
and the result. Because I would go
because the Super Bowl. You're right. He played.
I think maybe individually
you don't get credit for else.
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
And that's why you could go there and say this is the best game he's ever played.
No, Clark, Sills doesn't eat crow until the deal is done. Whoa. I told you this. I eat crow very rarely.
Hey, they can say that as much as they want because that's going right to the giveaway fund.
Remember what I said. If you win the Super Bowl, that's when you get it. You've got one. Dude, you see the golden cup. You see the Holy Grail. It's right there. Dude, I'll tell you what. You not only stamped your ticket today, you punched your time clock and said, who the fuck is next? You really did. You beat the Commanders up today.
Man, I am reveling in all the photos that are being bounced around and sent to me of the great city of Philly. Sills, you can't hear this on the show right now, but happening outside my window, and I don't live in the city. I live about 30 minutes north of the stadium off Broad Street, okay? There's fireworks going on outside. I can hear them clearly. I mean, that's how much this is such a true and real sports city. And I don't think other people understand what Philly's like until you really get here and you talk to the people and you experience something like this. It makes me kind of emotional. I mean, I just love this city. It's where I grew up, born and raised. I hear fireworks. The city's going back to a Super Bowl. Nobody deserves it more than the great people of Philadelphia.
I told you what Jerome told me. He goes, one day when he was on IR, he's walking down the street listening to an Eagle game. He goes, and people had their windows open in September at the beginning of the year. He goes, you can hear the entire game for 4 blocks because everybody's got their game on, and you can hear the game being played. That's the kind of city that you have. Hey, by the way, too, to the fans, man, kudos to you guys, man. It's a great fan base. Now you get an opportunity to get back to the Super Bowl and get a chance to win this thing here. You can get your second Super Bowl in 8 years, third appearance, 3 NFC championships. I got to tell you, man, that is going to put a stamp on a lot of people during the era where Jeffrey Lurie's got to say the last 10 years, man, look at what we've delivered for you here. If they're able to get this thing done in New Orleans.
Unbelievable. They're going to be approaching rarefied air here. Now, again, let's start to break down some of the game, obviously, that happened today. It's a great celebration, and everybody in the city, I'm sure there's people dancing all down Broad Street, all down at the sports complex in South Philly. I'm sure everybody loves it. I will say this, though, all right, and everybody should channel this. Maybe I'll give you till tomorrow or till Tuesday. We can enjoy an overreaction Monday. Job's not finished. The job is not finished, and I truly believe that because if we get back there and we're not able to complete the job, we're all going to have a pit in our stomach. So not finished yet, but what a remarkable performance by this team. Let's run through some of the numbers. 55-23. I'll say that one more time. 55-20. So as I was joking in the chat before the show, M. Reyes. This is the closest M. Reyes has ever been on a score prediction at 52-3. Shout out to the great M. Reyes in the chat.
Right, M. Reyes. There you go, man. You were right in this one here.
Yeah. Jalen Hurts in this game, 20-28 for 246 and a touchdown. Saquon Barkley, how about this? 15 carries. Only 15 carries for Saquon. Still had 118, 3 touchdowns. With the long, how about that? You pull your starters in an NFC Championship game. Yeah. You won't hear that very often. So pretty unbelievable. Dallas Goedert was good in this game as well. 7 catches for 85 yards. A.J. Brown, 6 catches for 96. Eerily similar to Sileo's prediction, actually, for A.J. Brown. I think you had 6 for 85, didn't you, on your pregame prediction?
I had 6 for 80.
Yeah, I knew you were right above 75. So great games for really everybody. And then over to that Eagles defense, man. How about the forced fumbles in this game? 3 forced fumbles. Oren Burks had the one of them. Who else had the forced fumbles in this game? Let me find them on my.
They were on special teams, weren't they? Weren't they a few of them?
One of them was special teams, correct? That was the kickoff at the start at the half there, and then you had Oren Burks' punch out. And who was the third punch out? I'm blanking on the punch out, but unbelievable that they had these peanut punches, man, and just get that ball. It really tilted the game.
No, it's talk because they're showing the second guy coming in and swatting the ball down.
Right.
That's something that they're teaching. So, hey, man, listen, like I said, all year long, I did not see this team. That team that we talk about, the team that I think they can be, there they were today. That's the team right there that you're looking for when you have that kind of skill set on your offense. And I'll tell you it again, the defense is the story of the year for that team. Did I think that football team would be like that and that good on defense? No freaking way. You outplayed Bobby Wagner and Frankie Louvu with a second-team linebacker and Zach Bond playing the way he did. Mitchell got, who I thought would be a little banged up, got a second pick now. How about this? He doesn't get any picks in the regular season. Now he's got 2 and 3 games in the postseason. So I thought Slade played really well out on the perimeter. I mean, McLaurin got loose once on them, but really after that play, I thought the secondary did a great job. Okay? I really did.
Yeah, and you said it a little earlier in the show. I'll just, I do want to do one thing here, and we'll continue to break it down. I'm going to tip my cap, all right, and be a good sport here on the Washington Commanders and to that quarterback, Jayden Daniels. What a great season for them. We're going to be seeing a lot of them in the future. It's good to see a new opponent in the NFC East finally again, not the Cowboys or the Giants. They're both going to be in oblivion for a little bit. But what a great year for the Washington Commanders. What a great year for that young quarterback and Jayden Daniels. I'll tip my cap to him, man. Great player. I didn't think he played bad today. I really didn't.
He got 300 yards in total offense today.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I thought he just didn't get the opportunities because the defense kept turning. By the way, the fumbles, I think he had one himself, a turnover in the game. But outside of that, Xander and I thought he would get a turnover in the ball game. He had 300 yards of total offense in the game. I thought he was really good. I thought he kept them in it for as long as they did stay in it. But it was just the physicality. Let's just do this here, man. The Eagles beat him up. They beat him up. And the defense of the Washington Commanders, they couldn't stop Philadelphia. The offense, I thought, of Washington did a pretty decent job at moving the chains and moving the sticks. But, man, it was clearly the fact that you could not move anything when it came to the Commanders' offense. They could not stop the Eagle offense.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. How about the power of the Kango hat, all right, that I'm wearing right now? Jalen's 2 best games this year were Pittsburgh and the NFC Championship game, both of which he showed up in the black Kango hat. So I had to tip my cap and put on the black Kango for the show. But pretty amazing what the team was able to do. I want to talk to you about A.J. Brown. So what'd you see from him today, man? 6 catches, 96 yards. I think he looked a little better, looked a little healthier. I thought he had some key blocks in the running game as well. I thought he was great today. And it's amazing. You know, my favorite thing about A.J. Brown is he's such a big-bodied receiver. He moves so fluidly in open space. He makes guys miss all the time. Really impressive what he did. I thought he had a great game today.
I'll tell you what, when you put him in single coverage, it's impossible to defend him. I mean, his hand strength, too, on jump balls, man. He comes down with everything. And I thought, again, like I said, I thought that the stars showed up. AJ showed up. You had Saquon and you had Hurts show up. Every facet of that and the defense showed up. But with AJ, I thought he looked more explosive in the game. I thought he looked good in his breakouts. I mean, dude, after the catch, too, I thought Goddard looked great.
Yeah, Goddard was good.
The football in yards after the catch, too. So they all did a great job in the game. They all blocked. How about the block that Saquon threw to spring Hurts in the middle of the field there, too, to get him that run to get into the end zone? They were all doing it right now. And you know what they're buying into right now? They're buying into this. One more victory away from winning a Super Bowl. In my opinion, as good as the Fox guys did at trying to keep you engaged in watching that game was really never close.
No. Well, there was one moment that I felt like the Commanders could get back into it, and that was when they were within 11 after converting the 2-point conversion. Eagles went 3
and they got a turnover,
and then they fumbled the ball again. And I'm like, there you go. That's it. That's the game. And then the Birds got the ball again. Boom, touchdown. And 55 points later, we're on our way to a Super Bowl.
Let's do this too. Kellen Moore called a sensational ball game.
Yep. I think maybe his best of the year as well. Got the ball out of Jalen Hurts' hands quick. Good route concepts. Got Devontae involved.
Sped it up a little bit too. Got rhythm going. Yep.
And he got his playmakers involved. I don't know why this has been so controversial all year. You got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Dallas Goedert. Get him involved. Whatever it looks like. I mean, how about the jet sweeps for Dallas Goedert?
I thought that again, remember what we said too, that there'd be something new because of common opponent that you hadn't seen. I'm watching the game going, holy shit, Goddard, jet sweeps. Where's that coming from? So there were a lot of new looks that were in the game that we hadn't seen, that they wanted to put some wrinkles. But really, Zander, they could have lined up and just ran I formation and beat that team. They could not stop the Eagle offense. You know, Brady said it. I don't know how you stop them when you sit there and you have everybody on the same page like that. And like Gail just said, that's a dominating performance, dude.
It really is. Dude, 7 rushing touchdowns. Jeff Kerr, we'll talk to Jeff Kerr, I'm sure, in the morning on Birds 365. He's the statistician. Has that ever been done in a playoff game in the NFL? 7 rushing touchdowns? Somebody's got to get me a fact check on whether somebody has ever put up 7 rushing touchdowns in an NFL playoff game.
Absolutely. I'm not sure I've ever seen it. You might want to go back to maybe the Cowboy days when the Cowboys had Emmett. You might want to look there, but I don't remember blowouts like this. These games are traditionally pretty close, these NFC title games. You rarely get like getting skunked like this. I know the 49ers and the Bears had a pretty good run there in an NFC Championship game, but boy, I'll tell you, man, they just blew their doorknobs off. Hey, and by the way, the one thing that we do here, we give kudos when people show up. We fucking dog people when they don't show up.
People want me to crush you.
Get it straight here. When you show up, you get kudos. When you don't get kudos. That's where I'm at and always will be.
I want to thank everybody, by the way, for being here, man. What a beautiful game this was. What a great opportunity this is for this football team. And what a time for the city of Philadelphia. You know, it's great for the players. It's great for the coaches. It's great for all those guys. But I think for those who live in this city and know the great people of this city, I think it means the most for them, man. You don't understand. So when the Eagles win, people walk down the streets happier. People spend more money and the economy stimulates better. Everything is different in this city when this team succeeds. And what they're doing right now is such a great shot of adrenaline and boost for this city. I'm happy for the great people of Philadelphia, man. It's a beautiful thing.
This is a football team that is a civic pride thing.
Yes.
Some football cities like Los Angeles, they like and root for the Rams. Okay? In Philly, they live for the Eagles. There's a difference between being a fan of a team like the teams in Los Angeles or even in New York. I mean, those are teams, you root for those teams. You die for these teams. You grew up on these type of teams here. There's no question. Growing up, I always knew that about the Philly fan base, that it's different. It's different in Buffalo. It's different in Kansas City. It's different in Boston. And it's different in Chicago. It's just different in those cities because they live and die by those teams. The other places, they root for them. They don't live and die by it like they do here. And there's no question. Shot in the arm, dude, everyone loves a winner. And everybody loves, especially where our country is right now, when you can turn on and look around and you're at Lincoln Financial and do this. Republicans and Democrats are sitting at Lincoln Financial going, look at us now. That's what I'm talking about. That's what makes a great fan base.
Yeah, no doubt. And this really is such a great fan base, man. The city is such a great just such a great sports city. It really is. Like I said, it just means more. I mean, so I'm in the suburbs. There's fireworks. There's fireworks going on outside my house, man, for the Eagles going to the Super Bowl. So
how about this too? He took the brace off before the game started. He had it on and he said, screw it, I'm going here, man. He just said, I'm going. And I thought he looked good. I mean,
Yeah.
look, he didn't run, and they didn't run him like they do, and they didn't run him like they like to in the ball game. But he had 3 touchdowns in the ball game. And you know what they didn't stop doing? They didn't stop doing the tush push, which
Right.
was essential in there because, again, that's been a big part of that offense.
Yeah, that one series of plays on second down was crazy, man. I don't know what was going on there with that. I want to thank again everybody for being here. Hit that like button, man. NFC champions, the Philadelphia Eagles, and just an update on the AFC game. I'm sure many of you have tuned in. Maybe you're watching the JAKIB Postgame Show and the game. That's what many of our great people do. Kansas City is up 7-0 in that game right now. Josh Allen and the Bills have the ball, so I'll keep you guys posted on that game, and then I'll remind everybody again. We already are on an unprecedented rate of super chats. Okay, every super chat today is going to be used to buy jerseys and merch to give away to the great people of JAKIB Nation for the next 2 weeks. We got a Super Bowl run, and I'm going to give away 20, 30, 40, however many jerseys I can get my hands on is what I'm going to do. So I appreciate every super chat today will go toward that. So big thanks to everybody. I can't read them all. I got a bunch of them. We'll read them later on in the show, but big thanks to each one of you guys. And then we'll talk to John McMullen a little bit later on in the show. Sills, how about that no-hold defense? How about that no-hold defense, baby? Come on, baby. How about that no-holds defense? Again, making plays.
Look at what they did in the game. 350 total yards in an NFC Championship game with a quarterback like Jayden Daniels. Is that awful? Absolutely not. I think that's sensational that you can hold somebody in today's NFL under 400 total yards. They did a nice job passing game. I thought Daniels got his. I didn't think he played poorly, man. 30 of 49 in the game. I think what they did, though, was per pass, they kept them under 5 yards a pass. There wasn't really – Jalen had 7, almost 8 yards of play every time he threw the ball. But here, they held them to 99 yards rushing. Remember what we said? They had to get the run game going to get play action going if they had any shot in this ball game. You put that together with the 4 turnovers on how well they played on only 25 attempts. Man, they did a really nice job. I mean, look, the Commanders had 4 yards of carry in the ball game. It wasn't horrible. You'd like to see that thing around 4-3, but the 4 turnovers and fumbles lost were 3 of them in the ball game. They really are well coached on that side of the ball. How about Jordan Davis?
Yeah.
Jordan Davis, we had a sighting with him with a sack, a couple big stops in the middle in there in the run defense. That has to be, in my opinion, Jordan Davis's best football game that he has played probably in 2 years.
So who do you want? Who do you want for the Eagles?
Kansas City.
Kansas City.
You know what? I first said no. I said, give me Buffalo because they have the lesser roster. But you know what? You want to make this thing iconic. And you know what you also want to do? Because of the whole thing with Barkley not getting that 2105, well, give me this then. I'll tell you what, man. Give me Kansas City. Because, hey, what made Nick Foles not just winning the Super Bowl, but what made Nick Foles, by the way, honorary captain, you might want to tote that guy's ass out there for the New Orleans
Yeah,
team
really.
also, just because I'm a little bit superstitious in that. In my opinion, man, I mean, you roll that guy out there right now and you bring him out there, I want to get Kansas City because I would want Andy Reid and I would want Patrick Mahomes and I'd want to have unfinished business against them.
No doubt about it, man. I don't know.
Hey, senor, what do you want me to do? Fucking tell you they suck today? Because that's what everybody thought I would be saying. Even Zander probably thought I was going to say that. Did you actually fucking think, did you watch the game? When somebody puts 55 fucking points on a ball game, what do? Sit here and go like this? Oh, no, they sucked. Nobody sucked today on the Eagles. What a dick.
It really did it. Nobody did suck. And look, I think what the best takeaway is, look at what this team is truly capable of when everything works like it's supposed to work. Jalen Hurts was sensational today. I really thought it was his best game of the year. And the team ends up with I still can't believe I'm saying that about the NFC Championship. 55 points. 55 points. I mean, M. Reyes again. 55 points in an NFC title game. That's pretty unbelievable.
How many points have they scored in the 3 playoff games? Didn't they put up a 30 somewhere also? So,
well,
I mean, are they averaging over 30 points a game now?
They're over 100. They're 105 points in 3 games. So They're averaging around 35 points. Yep.
35 points a game. They were at. This is what you thought during the regular season, that they would be around 35 a game. Would they end up with like 27, somewhere 27, 28? Well, you're averaging almost 35 points, over 35 points a game. That's pretty amazing.
All right, so the great people of JAKIB Nation want me they act like we're in a steel cage up here, and I can just take every take you've had this year about Jalen Hurts and the Eagles and bash it over your head. I'm not going to do that.
No. Wait a minute. You haven't finished the deal. What are you going to bash me over the? No, not you, Jen. What are you going to bash me over the head for? Because you won the Super Bowl? You haven't fucking won that game yet, guy. Again, you're sitting here getting ahead of yourselves. You got unfinished business. Even Jalen Hurts is not smiling. This is like winning the Eastern Conference in hockey. Most of those hockey guys don't touch the trophy because you know why?
Right.
They know that the Stanley Cup is still there to be won. They don't touch the conference championship. Hang on there, guys. I told you, if you win the Super Bowl, that's the crow. If not, then again, it's 0-2 in the Hurts reign of Super Bowls. You have 60 minutes of football, 4 quarters of football left to shut me up.
No doubt about it, man. This team is on a. If this team plays like this, we could have a 55 burger in the Super Bowl. Dare I say it? Holy shit! This team.
You're gonna put 55 on Andy Reid and the Chiefs now?
I'm not saying that, but I am saying if they play like this, if Jalen Hurts is playing like this, if this defense plays like this, we'll be raising the Lombardi Trophy in 2 weeks from today.
Tough to beat them. Tough to beat them.
Will we get Big Sills and Zander out of the man cave? I don't know. We'll have to see if that's an opportunity for the great people of JAKIB Sports. So we'll talk about that. Let's get to our first commercial break. I want to thank everybody for being here.
Guys,
the Philadelphia Eagles are going to the Super Bowl, everybody. 55-23 is your final score. So no more taking crap from Commanders fans on social media. All right. You can get back and say, hey, everybody, that's a good little season you guys had. You got a nice little quarterback. Go back to your homes and you can come out next year and talk some shit because we just manhandled you. Manhandled. Yeah. And hey, I'll say this. Who the best quarterback in the NFC? Say it so. Who's the best quarterback in the NFC?
On Sunday, January 26th, Jalen Hurts.
Yes.
For the 2024 season, Jayden Daniels.
And what matters more as we've now prepped for a Super Bowl?
The NFC Championship.
Jalen Hurts. He said, hey, Jayden, enjoy this little masterclass I'm about to put on for you. Enjoy the show, little guy. Welcome to the league and all, but this is my conference, young man. This is my conference, and he proved that today. Let's get to our commercial break. I love each and every one of you guys. All the great super chats, they're all going to the fund, all right, for the great giveaway. Wait, let me show everybody, all right?
This is good stuff. By the way,
I'm going to fill this fucker up with Eagles jerseys to give away. All right?
By the way,
in here, I'm on 10, 15, 20
By the way, Zander doesn't go cheap on this shit, man.
No, it's good stuff.
The best shit going.
Yeah, it's good stuff. So let's get to our commercial break. I appreciate each and every one of you. Hit that like button, and we'll be right back in 3 minutes, everybody.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The following is a real testimonial from the father of a young injured victim.
I didn't think she was going to make it.
Major Perry's daughter was the victim of a horrific accident caused by someone else's negligence.
If you don't find the right counselor, law firm that you're looking for, you will get lost in the wilderness.
Badly injured? Call the Fritz and Bianculli Law Firm at 215-458-2222 and find out why they say, we got this.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong as the #1 health insurer in the region. No IBX is always looking out for you.
noticed that there was mold creeping into our basement about a year and a half ago, and wanted to make sure that we were getting rid of the problem permanently. We actually reached out to several different contractors to get it resolved, and actually 2 of them recommended DryTech to us as a long-term solution. Other than the noise factor, we wouldn't even know that there was work being done on the basement level. It's really been a clean process for us.
Score and save this football season on your car insurance. Before the next game, save up to 40% on your auto insurance policy. That's right, 40% savings. Call an Audible this season and contact the Del Val Insurance Group. They're an advocate for you, not an insurance company. That means they'll get you the right coverage and save you up to 40%. Call managing partners Fran or Jim of Del Val Insurance, 215-354-0122, or score and save at dvigi.com. dvigi.com.
EAGLES, Eagles.
Welcome back in, everybody, to the JAKIB Postgame Show. Your Philadelphia Eagles are 2024 NFC champions and are headed to the Super Bowl for the second time in 3 years with a statement dominant win today from start to finish, putting up one of the most explosive performances in NFC Championship history. Jalen Hurts, sensational. Eagles defense, sensational. Saquon Barkley, sensational. They did it, and it's 55-23, and I'm still kind of shell-shocked that this team put up 55 points in an NFC Championship game. Big Sills, as you now, 30 minutes removed, now we're a segment deep. You know, what's going through your head up there, man, after the Eagles
I'm
are
more impressed with the defense. I am. They are just and have been dominant the entire year. I mean, well, after the bye is when they really started kicking it up. Dude, okay, you're going to get me saying something here.
Here we go.
That I thought I would never say in my life. Nolan Smith has arrived. He's arrived.
Most playoff sacks in Eagles history.
He has arrived from a guy who, from Seth to everyone, said this guy doesn't belong in the league. Dude, he belongs. He is now, I mean, you know what he does too? He softens the blow of Huff. You move off of that guy because of what this kid looks like. I still think his size is going to be an issue moving forward on length of career. But boy, I'll tell you, man, did he have 2 sacks in the ball game today?
I know he had that big sack obviously late in the game, but I don't know if he had 2 today. I'm trying to find the stat that I found for Nolan Smith. I'm pretty sure he now surpassed Hassan Reddick for the Eagles franchise record holder for most sacks in a single postseason is now Nolan Smith. So man, we talked about needing a Hassan Reddick type of player.
Got him.
You might have him here in Nolan Smith. Yeah, we want to see it in year 2 here for year 3, but year 2 of him really being a player, pretty remarkable what he's done. And he really looks like a force too, doesn't he?
Oh my God. But here, look at this. Kobe Dean from Georgia, Jalen Carter from Georgia. Today, Davis had a great game. And now you're talking Nolan Smith. Every one of these guys are now playing to their draft where they – Jordan, I'd like to see a little more, but I thought in a big game, that's the best game I've ever seen him play as a Philadelphia Eagle. Because with the stakes being the way they were, Jordan Davis had a great game. I think all the Georgia kids, man, obviously Dean couldn't because he was injured, but all the Georgia guys played great today.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And my guy Killadelph in the chat, Killadelph, appreciate you, man. Great point by you. He brings up what a gutsy performance that was by your offensive line. You got players in. Cam Jurgens is, couldn't go. Landon Dickerson looks like he can barely walk. He's gutting it out. Cam Jurgens comes in. I mean, just a really gutsy performance by that offensive line. 55 points, man, with a banged up O-line.
So guess what we have going on here? So Monday, Angelo's coming on at 3:30. And he goes, so do I have to come with my hat and my ass here? Do I have to? I go like this. Don't worry. I'm in the same boat with you. I'm in the same boat with you. So we can sit here and take heat on Monday at 3:30. So Angelo's going to be with us at 3:30 too. So, but by the way, again, one thing, man, this is what you wanted to see. This is the stuff you're paying for here. This is what you want your offensive guys to look like. And you put your best performance of the season in the NFC Championship game. Kudos to you, man. Hey, by the way, congratulations for doing your fucking job. This is what you guys have wanted all year long, and now you got a shot at the Super Bowl. You're 60 minutes away from putting another ring there on those guys' fingers like Lane Johnson. That's pretty damn awesome, man.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Really unbelievable stuff. What this team was able to do today with a 55-23 win. I read you guys some of the numbers. Just, I thought it was Jalen Hurts' best game of the year. And I, it's one of my favorite things about the kid is, you have your issues with him and moments, you scratch your head. Why are you holding the ball? Why are you doing that? But when you need him the most, he really does seem to show up. And I think that the way he handles it himself is a big part in that. So I was super impressed with the quarterback's performance today. I think he deserves the utmost credit for what he was able to do today. And it's got to feel good for him too, by the way. I know he's not, I know people say Jalen doesn't read the headlines, and I don't know, maybe he doesn't, but it's got to feel good to be the quarterback of this team and to know how pivotal of a part you played in today's game. After everybody talked about, oh, you're being carried and you have Saquon and then, we won the game today a lot in large part because Jalen Hurts delivered the ball and delivered the goods.
Well, all of that was true. He changed the narrative today. Remember what we said when we opened the program off on the pregame? This is a chance for you to change narratives and also have a chance to play for history. Well, that's what he did. I'm not going to relent on the fact that he's been the caboose the entire season because he has. Today, he was the star of the NFC Championship game. That's not a wrong narrative, okay? And are you the star in one of the biggest games, if not the biggest game to date in the season? Absolutely. That's the game you want him to be the star in. Hey, he could have been the caboose, but I'll tell you what it also does. It also shows a little bit of this. Hey, man, you know what? The team needed me to make some plays today in the passing game, and I did. This goes back a little bit to what you said, Zander. Hey, when they needed it, AJ stepped up. Everyone stepped up. I think this team could smell it now. I think they can smell it now that they have an opportunity. And I do think that 2022 team, that 23 Super Bowl loss, I think it's going to pay dividends in those guys going forward and playing in this game, whoever it is, Bills or the Chiefs.
Right. I agree 100%, man. That type of experience is invaluable. I'll use a Jalen Hurts quote here on the show. I didn't walk through the fire just to smell the smoke, baby. So I think it's a good point by you, though. I think they will learn from that. And I think their approach to this Super Bowl will be a little bit different than 22. 22, you got a team of young players. AJ's never been there. Devontae's never been there. Jalen's never been there. Miles Sanders had never been there. Most of the O-line had never been there with the exception of Lane Johnson and Jason Kelsey. So really impressive. And I think they're going to have a different approach, man, coming into this Super Bowl. And I think it's a good point by you. They learned from that probably. And like I said, Jalen was smiley, but he wasn't like he was in 22 on the NFC title stage. He knows job's not finished. I got one more.
I think he should revel in this, and I think the team should really, because again, this is an opportunity. You remember, you got 2 weeks in this whole process here too. So if I'm them, hey man, take your justice, take your rewards here. This has been a long season, and this has been a banged up. Look at the guys that have been banged up in this football game, and them to go out there and pound that Redskin team into oblivion, dude. Kudos to every single This here was a roster win. This wasn't just a star win. The roster won. Guys on special teams making plays. Guys that were backups in the offensive line making plays. Backup linebackers making plays. There were guys all over the field you hadn't seen contribute in a while. Jordan Davis, who puts up goose eggs most of the time during the regular season, showed up. Dude, this was a roster win. And it's an impressive roster win. If you want to win a Super Bowl, you need 53 men, not 22 guys, or not what the Dallas Cowboys have. The Cowboys have 5 good players on their team. The rest of that roster sucks. That's not the case in Philly.
Dan, 55 points in an NFC title game. We've mentioned that a lot on the show. And obviously, you've been around this game for a long time, covering it, playing it, every part of it you've been a part of. Have you ever seen anything like this in a championship game? I'm obviously a younger fan. I can't think of it, but to put up 55 like this in an NFC Championship game, I don't know. I've never seen anything like it. Have you seen anything like this?
I got to think, Xander, that this is the most points scored maybe by either AFC or NFC teams in conference history. I don't remember a 55-point. Now, Carolina put up 49 points in 2016. Yeah, it's the most points in NFC Championship history, the 55 points. The Giants beat the Vikings 41-0 in 2001. Carolina beat Arizona 49-15. The Washington Commanders beat the Detroit Lions 41-10 in 91. And the Bears beat the Saints 39-14 in 07. This is the most points scored by any team in NFC Championship history.
Okay, so I have a series of 2 questions for you, okay? And I might put you in a little bit of a pickle. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see what he has to say, all right? The first question is, this is now the Eagles' second trip to the Super Bowl in 3 years. Okay, I know we didn't win the one in 22, and I know we haven't won yet this one. I'm not getting ahead of myself, but I will say 2 trips in 3 years is impressive. Are we witnessing a dynasty forming? Remember, we're one of the youngest teams in the NFL right now, and every player on our offense, with the exception of Lane Johnson, who's obviously older, and Mekhi Becton, are basically under contract for next season. Are we witnessing a dynasty forming in the city of brotherly love?
No. Dynasties are winners, and Kansas City's the dynasty. Okay. Now, are you, if you want to kind of move that question around, the building of one? Yes.
Okay.
Okay. The building of one. But Xander, dynasty talk, when you start going, you're a great franchise, and you are. We've won a ton of games, which you have. You haven't won championships. Okay. NFC silver medal titles are great. I'm not saying they're not great. I use them all the time as barometers for coaches and players on how many games you've been in. I'm not downplaying it. But if you start talking about the greatest players in the history of the game, the greatest teams of all time, you've got to separate it somewhere with championships. You just can't come in. Hey, do you think the Buffalo Bills going to 4 straight Super Bowls, do you think that's a dynasty?
Yeah, right. No, it's not. Clearly. They had Jim Kelly on NFL Network this morning, and he talked about it. I mean, he still thinks about all those losses.
Right. So, I mean, if Jim Kelly, who went to 4 Super Bowls in a row with 4 AFC titles, is not a dynasty, this is not either. However, again, what you chronicled by saying, yeah, but Sills, look at all the young players. Look at all this and that. You know, and I know there's work to do in free agency with what we got to do with signing Bond and Becton and all the rest of these guys. Completely true. But if you win it, I'll tell you what you now do if you win it. Now you're talking about 2 and 8 years, 3 NFC championships.
Right.
Do you start saying, Sills, is that the best NFC dynasty that you've seen in 10 years? Can you name me another team in the NFC that has gone on to do that in the last 10 years? The answer is no. So then you start saying this, and you beat Kansas City. That's why you want to validate it even more, going, we're the best team in the NFL. And in the last 10 years, we're starting to get in the same conversation with Kansas City. Championships matter in that talk, Xander.
Yep.
I'm not downplaying what you're saying.
No, I think what you said was perfect. Yep. Got to win one. You're 60 minutes away from the start. You're 60 minutes away from the start, I think, of a dynasty.
Well, at
least the start of what could be a dynasty.
Yes.
All right, here's my second question. You ready? Is Jalen Hurts now officially an elite championship caliber quarterback?
Good question. He's played elite in 2 games this year. One of the games mattered the most, the NFC title game. And now he's in his second Super Bowl in 3 years. I got to tell you, man, second Super Bowl in 3 years, I don't give a fuck if he had 92 yards passing in this game. You're in the game, and you were the reason you're in the Super Bowl. in this ball game, man, that's awful impressive. It is. I don't think he's a week-to-week elite player, but I think he has elite moments that really now he's perfect for the way that they're building this football team. It's a tough question because I don't think 2903 is elite in any way, shape, or form. I don't think he was consistent at all this year, and I don't think he was consistent in the playoffs. But when it mattered the most, he showed up. It's a tough question for me. So to me, he had an elite day today. That's as far as I'll go. Now, if he wins the Super Bowl, and he turns around and looks at me and goes, dude, 2 NFC championships and a Super Bowl win in 3 years. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Then get this. This is where I go, eat crow.
And here's what I would say about it. And I don't think anything you said was wrong. I mean, in terms of you talk about elite quarterbacks, 29-3 is not what it looks like. But this is what I love, and I don't care about that as much as you. But I will say this. I love that he practices what he preaches in terms of, he says, keep the main thing the main thing. It's one thing to say that, and he truly doesn't care. Whatever it takes to win a football game on any given Sunday is what Jalen Hurts wants to do. Whether we or you or John or the great people listening or, Howie Roseman thinks that's elite, he doesn't care. All he wants to do is win the game, and it's going to look different each week. And I love that he practices what he preaches with that because it's easy to walk the walk. It's a whole nother thing to talk the talk and or talk the talk, not walk the walk, excuse me. But I think he really does that, and that's probably my favorite part about Jalen Hurts.
I got to tell you, man, the Philadelphia Eagles, they have the best O-line coach in pro football history. They have
a big statement.
I think he's the best coach, offensive line coach in NFL. I've never seen guys just step in off the field and just get in there, and there's no – you had 230 yards rushing. And you had guys going in and out at the guard center position. It's unbelievable, man. And by the way, no dissing of Barkley, but Jeff Stoutland, dude.
Yeah. This O-line's the MVP of this team. And I don't say that with any slight on anybody else. This O-line is remarkable.
Remarkable. By the way, Zander, just for historical reference, the Eagles today scored the most points in NFL history, 55. It is Carolina at 49. The Falcons scored 44 and that's third and 17. The Giants in 2001 scored 41. The Redskins scored 41. Also in 92, the Eagles scored, this is most points ever scored by a Philadelphia Eagle team in playoff history. 2018, they beat the Minnesota Vikings, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, 38-7 in that NFC Championship game. And yeah, they scored the most points in an NFC Championship game by any Philadelphia Eagle team, and they outdid the Panthers, who beat the Arizona Cardinals 49-15. So no question about it, man. It's the most points ever scored. It was a historic day for the Eagles in their franchise.
No doubt about it, man. Unbelievable stuff. And 2 great questions there. Sills, I thought you had really good answers to both of them. With the team potentially being in a dynasty or getting there or approaching it, and the quarterback. Now I want to ask you one more here. What does this win mean today, Sills, for Nick Sirianni and this coaching staff? I think he's another guy that there's a lot of talk, there's a lot of conversation, there's a lot of credit that gets pulled away from Nick, whether right or wrong. And I think if you're Nick, you pull a Jalen and you say, two NFC championships in 3 years. I don't give a shit what you think of me, right? What do you think this win means for Nick Sirianni and his staff?
I mean, I think it's now incredible that he's now in his second Super Bowl in 3 years. And I believe with that win now, he's 4-3 in postseason play. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Jalen Hurts is now 4-3 in playoff play too. So you're now above the Mendoza line. There's very few people that are above the Mendoza line where you are now when it comes to winning it. Whatever you say about it, whatever you want to give him or not give him credit for, and Angelo and I are in that level. I mean, you're starting to talk about, like Yale just said, it's next level stuff here where you're starting to look at the record in the regular season. I think it now. I'll ask. Let me flip it back to you. Do you think it's more about the organization or Nick? See, I happen to think it's more about the organization hiring Nick.
See, this is where I struggle with it because I do think it's.
I think it's organizational more, Zander, than it is the coach.
Yeah, but at what point do you look at the coach and give him the credit? Because it's not, look, this isn't the first team in history to have a good roster. Let's be real. I mean, they have a great roster. Don't get me wrong. But, I mean, I think what Nick has done in terms of, and I was teasing a lot yesterday about some stuff off the record that John gave me. And it's nothing big, but it did make me feel really good about the team. And some of the stories I heard, Sills, that happened inside the locker room this year and even just this week, this team has no locker room issues, man. They really don't. All the stuff I'm telling you right now, this team is so bought in. They are so together. They truly fight and play for the guy next to them on the field. And I think it's really evident when you get late in the season here and you see how much they do that. But to me, that's Nick Sirianni, right? It's one thing to have a great roster. I get that. That's how.
Wait a minute. Then what happened?
They're galvanized.
Then what happened last year when they melted down? I mean, where did they learn from that? Was that just part of the learning? Remember Marcus Hayes said something? As much as Jalen's learning to be a star quarterback, you think Nick's still learning to be a head coach in this league too? That maybe, again, last year was a learning curve moment.
Right. Remember the crazy stat I gave you about all the greatest coaches in NFL history and how long it took them to win their first Super Bowl? I gave you all the best coaches. And, I do think there's an element of there of learning. And I just give credit to Nick because this team does show up every day. It's one thing to have great players, but to have them play for you and for your team and fight for the man next to them, that to me is set by the coach. Whether you have a good GM or a good organization or not, if you don't have the right guy leading them or the right guy as your head coach, you're not going to have this level of success. At least that's how I feel.
Do you think the culture is any different today than it was under Doug Peterson? See, I don't. I think that culture is set from the front office and who they're hiring and who they hire.
I think it's a little
how they set the table. So you think it's different today than it was with Doug?
I mean, it's different more in a sense that the two coaches are so different. Like Nick and Doug are so different. You know how the people say your team takes on the personality of your coach? It feels different in that regard. But what you're saying organizationally, okay. I see what you're saying, where they have a standard and things like that they brought into the organization. Perhaps some of that. And maybe that's a credit to Howie and Jeffrey Lurie, the owner, for setting that. Yeah.
I mean, this is Howie's best year as a general manager, even if they don't win it. It's his best year.
Yeah.
There's too many all pros. There's too many things that the hiring, the drafting, there's too many things that just look too good. I mean, to me, I'm going to say this. I think that Allen or Mahomes, whoever ends up winning the AFC, I think, in my opinion, they're going to be the underdog heading into that football game. And Buffalo, by the way, has a 10-7 lead in that ball game too, with about 8:29.
Wait, who do you think is going to be the underdog?
I think anybody who wins the AFC is going to be the underdog.
Okay, you think the Eagles are going to be favored? I was going to say
that. I think the Eagles are going to be favored in the ball game.
Yeah, I do too. And if the Eagles play like they did today, I'm pretty confident to saying we're going to have a parade down Broad Street in 2 weeks. I like these two AFC teams. I don't think they can keep up if the Eagles can play like they did today. With that defense swarming, and if Jalen's able to make throws like he did today, boy, how about that 4th and 5 throw? I know It looked like there might have been a penalty missed there, whatever. I'm not going to get into that. That was a dime by Jalen Hurts. A dime, big Sills.
You want to hear something else too? I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that Jalen Hurts has broken a curse that if you lost the Super Bowl, that you got back to it in your first one. If I'm not mistaken, I think he's the first quarterback to lose a Super Bowl and then get back and win it. Or if he wins it, or even get back, I think he's broke that curse to where I have to look that up. But I think the quarterback who had lost the Super Bowl had never gotten back in his first attempt, had never gone back. Marino never got back to one. And
didn't Mahomes lose his first one? He lost his first one.
No, he won his first one. No, he won his
lost to Brady.
No, he won his first one. Mahomes won his first Super Bowl, lost his second one to Brady. Yeah,
Wow.
he won his first Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. Mahomes won his first Super Bowl.
Well, pretty good stuff. And, I thought your answer to the Nick Sirianni question was a good one. I'd like to ask everybody, what does this change for Nick? I thought you gave a pretty good answer right now. And then you answered my next question. Do you think the Eagles are going to be favorites? I do think they're going to be favorites. Which team do you think they match up better with? We're going to find out the answer to who they play in a couple of hours. But who do you think they match up better with?
The
Bills. I want the Chiefs, but I do think the Bills.
The Bills, I don't think the Bills have the defense or the roster to hang with that team. I think they'd have to get into a shootout with them. And, I don't think so.
I don't know. That Bills defense, I think, can be got.
Okay. I do too. I think Kansas City's the tougher game. Okay. Yeah, that's right. The previous 19 quarterbacks to lose their Super Bowl debut as a starter never made it back. And because that's right.
It's the last 19 who did it.
What's that?
You said it's the last 19 quarterbacks who did it?
Jalen Hurts breaks curse. The 19 quarterback, previous 19 quarterbacks lose their Super Bowl. Here they are. Brock Purdy, Joe Burrow, Jimmy Garoppolo, Jared Goff, Matt Ryan, Cam Newton, Colin Kaepernick, Rex Grossman, Matt Hasselbeck, Donovan McNabb, Jake Delhomme, Rich Gannon, Kerry Collins, Steve McNair.
Wow.
Chris Chandler, Drew Bledsoe, Neil O'Donnell, and Stan Humphries. This goes back to 1994. The last 19 quarterbacks to have lost the Super Bowl in their debut. It is the first time that a quarterback has gone back to a Super Bowl after losing his debut Super Bowl, and that guy is Jalen Hurts.
Wow, incredible stuff there. Incredible stat. Jalen Hurts headed back to the Super Bowl. How about this, Sills? I'll give you something. All right. 3 playoff games now for the Philadelphia Eagles this year. They have 10 takeaways and 0 turnovers. 10 takeaways to 0 turnovers for this football team. If I told you that, okay, the next 3 playoff games, you're going to have 10 takeaways and 3 turnovers, you would have said it 3 weeks ago. You'll be in the Super Bowl. You'll be in the Super Bowl.
If they continue that trend heading into the Super Bowl against either Kansas City or Buffalo, they're going to blow them out too. I mean, you can't have that.
Can you imagine a 55 burger in the Super Bowl? Holy
against
shit.
Kansas City too. Against Kansas City. Hey man, I'm just saying to you, that's the best football game I've seen them play in 4 years. That was with all the stakes, with all that was on the line here for this game, the Hurts 92 net yards passing in 2 games, AJ with 3 catches for 24. You looked at the defense; it was a completely Barkley football team in the first 2 rounds. Then you get into the NFC title game, and everybody showed up. By the way, name me a guy that's not a high significant first-round pick or big free agent that didn't show up in that football game that has been playing all year long. Devontae played well. I thought he had some big catches in the ball game as well. Goddard played. Every single star player in your offense showed up today.
No doubt about it. And great stuff coming out of the locker room. Apparently, Jalen Hurts smoking on a victory cigar. We're going to talk to John McMullen soon, but you can imagine he's probably bogged down, so he's going to be running a little bit late today. I want to read a couple of Super Chat, Sills. We did the promotion, all right, today, and I think we're going to set our record for the most Super Chats ever in a live show. Every Super Chat we get today will be used to buy more jerseys to give away to the great people of JAKIB Nation this week. All right. So I'm going back and I'm looking to stock up and give away a boatload of jerseys on the Super Bowl run.
Have you seen people are sending me pictures from downtown Philly?
Are they
sending me videos from down on Broad Street? People are now walking Broad Street right now, and they're all over the city right now. They're cheering all over right now. So, hey, man, you got everybody going nuts right now. Man.
They're on the
I've got 1,000 pictures. Sills, I'm down here on Broad Street. Get your ass down here. Hey, by the way, eat crow. And I'm going like, look at these guys, man. This is really cool, man. A lot of dope videos being sent to me right now from the folks in Philly.
Yeah, unbelievable. They're on the greased poles and everything out there in the great city of brotherly love. Like I said, man, I'm just just kind of reveling in this now a little bit that this team is going back. The job is not finished, but I'm happy for this city, man. I love when this city gets stuff like this because they're a great city, man. A passionate city, and they deserve it. The great people of Philly. You watch, Sills. The economy will be flowing better. You'll walk into a coffee shop in the morning and everybody will be, hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Everybody's happier in this city, man, when this team wins.
If you're the New York Giants, what are you thinking right now when you watch Barkley walking out with his kid out of the locker room? He's on his way to New Orleans. You didn't want to resign the guy. You're looking at maybe one of the most high-profile Giants in the last 25 years, and there he is walking in there, and hey, there he is walking into New Orleans. Dude, what a story for him. What a story for Zach. Hey, I'm not going to piss on anything here today, okay? But, dude, Zach Vaughn, I don't know. Maybe that number's gone up to 20 annually, man, because that fucker's making himself almost where you can't pay for the guy. I mean, dude, he's been the best linebacker in football. I don't know how he's not the defensive player.
I know, you're right. Do you think there's an element there because – and look, I hate pocket counting, and I know I don't want to go down that road. I hope Zach Vaughn gets every dollar he deserves. But I will say this. Don't you think if you're Howie, I mean, you say to him, look at what we have an opportunity here for.
Oh, you're going to use his emotions against him?
Give me 14. Come on, Zach. 14 versus 18, but you're going to have a chance to go back to the Super Bowl.
I'll tell you what I'll do, Howie. If you want to give me a 4th year instead of a 3-year contract, give me a 4-year, I'll hang here and I'll do 11 to 13 $million.
How about 14 fully guaranteed for 3 years?
How much?
14, but fully guarantee it all for 3 years.
They won't fully guarantee it, but if they give me a nice bag up front, I'm like, I know.
Yeah, there you go. I love it. I think they're going to do whatever it takes to keep Zach Vaughn in the great city. He is unbelievable. So every time you I'm not saying I doubted him, but there is an element of
how do you not doubt it?
Could this guy not be an all-pro in any given game? And then he just continues to show up, man, and look better than he did the week before. It's pretty unbelievable how good the guy is. And nobody found him his first 4 years in the league. He was sitting on a depth role in New Orleans.
Remember the scenario? Well, Dean's not really panning out. And, he's not panning out. So what did he do? They brought him in to be a Van Ginkel kind of guy and rush him off the edge. And you know what he said? Well, I don't know if he can play inside. We're going to find out. He seems to be very smart. All of a sudden now, the guy's the best linebacker in football. I mean, that includes Roquan Smith and Fred Warner. Dude, I've never seen anything like what I've seen with this transformation into this kid. Dude, how about Micaiah Becton, a guy who was constantly injured every year in New York with the Jets? This guy played every game. Dude, you're looking at the Jets needed O-lineman. They get rid of a guy they took in the first round, and they got rid of him, and now he's playing. Dude, he's had a great postseason, Micaiah Becton. He is just manhandling people up there. I thought the Washington Commanders, I thought a couple of those O-line guys, I thought they were going to start waving a white flag going, I surrender. Becton was murdering. My wife goes like this, who is that guy? Oh, the Washington Monument? Holy shit, that guy, I told her she's like 6'8", 385 pounds. The guy's immense, man. I mean, holy cow. What a great year by guys who Howie brought in.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And you gave him a little bit of credit earlier, but I am going to give a credit to one of the opponents today, or one of the players on the opponents. Zach Ertz delivers a big game, man. And there's a video of him floating around where him and Fletcher Cox were hugging it out in the back. Which is pretty cool, man. Those guys had a lot of moments here in Philly. Obviously won a Super Bowl here in the great city of brotherly love. So pretty cool. And I do want to give a little credit to Zach.
Hey, Zach, I'll tell you this, man. I saw the Adam Peters, general manager, go over to him. And I can imagine he probably said he played his ass off in a place where he has made so much history. How cool is that to watch a guy like that play? And you're sitting there as an Eagle fan, and you know the kind of guy he is. You know how important he is in Eagle history. And there he was out there just competing against his team. Probably had massive mixed emotions in that whole thing because he's an Eagle at heart. But right now he's a Commander. and the way he played, I thought was sensational. 11 catches, like you said, over 100 yards receiving. That's the Zach Ertz of a couple of years ago. We all remember.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. Unbelievable stuff there for the great Zach Ertz. So good job by him, and we do give a shout out to him. Look, he's one of those guys that's loved here in Philly. So he obviously had big plays in that Super Bowl that we won. Right now, our only Super Bowl in franchise history. Maybe that will no longer be the case, everybody. Maybe we have another one on the horizon. We will certainly be representing the NFC in the Super Bowl.
Do you feel better about this Super Bowl appearance than you did in 22?
It's a good question. That's a good question. I think you feel better about it today. At least maybe it's the benefit of the now or being a prisoner.
You backed San Francisco pretty good, and you beat the shit out of them.
Yes, we
did. You took 2 quarterbacks out in that ball game.
And remember,
you're feeling pretty good about that team heading into that game.
It's 2 different things because in 22, you didn't – not that – I don't want to say we had questions about Hurts, but we didn't really see him play like an MVP candidate this year. 22, he was an MVP player most of the year. So you felt super good about that going into the Super Bowl. This year, this game was so big because I think it really showed all of the things that you might be concerned with on this team or what might get this team or what might happen, if it doesn't go all perfect. They kind of answered every single one of those questions today with the way they played the game. And I think that gives you a sense of confidence going into the thing. But if I'm being real, Sills, my confidence in the Super Bowl has nothing to do with Jalen Hurts, and it's not a knock on Jalen Hurts. It has everything to do with Saquon Barkley and the no-holes defense that has played unbelievable. 10 takeaways in these playoffs to 0 giveaways for the offense. I mean, that's where the confidence comes from, man.
Can I I didn't think that Vic was this young. I didn't know he's only 66 years old.
He could coach for another 5 years.
Wait a second. How come he doesn't get any love for head coaching, another head coaching shot? If you gave Pete Carroll an opportunity at 70-plus years old to coach the Raiders, dude, this is one of the best defensive turnarounds. And look at the player development across the line that they've had this year with this. The coaching staff that was assembled on defense this year, the linebacker coach, the D-line coach with Clint Hurt, the secondary coach, all of those guys, Zander, those guys are going to be premium candidates in future years when it comes to potentially being coaches or coordinators across the league. That's a job well done across the board. As bad as last year's hirings were, these hirings this year were sensational.
Yeah, they really were, and that's Howie Roseman. I mean, we put up the graphic the other day of all the players for an AP Player of the Year. Zach Bond's a finalist, Saquon Barkley's a finalist, Quinyon and Cooper are finalists, Vic Fangio's a finalist. Those are all off-season additions by Howie Roseman. And I know we joke about Bryce Huff, and he looked even shitty today when he came in the reserve role. He was just a miss, but. It's one of those things where you chalk up the loss and you take the good with the bad, and you're really fired up about it because Howie had his best offseason ever.
You think he had a better year than he had in 22?
I do.
I mean, White panned out. The 2 defensive tackles created depth. You brought in, if I'm not mistaken, didn't they trade for AJ that offseason in the draft?
Yep, that was big.
You brought AJ in, then you brought those 2 defensive tackles in.
Yeah, but you know what the difference was?
You brought Hassan Reddick in too.
Wasn't that the year we drafted Jordan Davis? In 20?
Yes, 22.
Look at now again, not even trying to knock Jordan Davis, but he wasn't an impact like Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell have been this year. Your first 2 picks that year were Cam Jurgens, I believe, and Jordan Davis. Both great players, but they didn't impact that Super Bowl year like these 2 guys are. These guys started every play today. Think about that. 2 guys you took in last year's draft.
I thought Jordan Davis played his best football game I've seen him play as an Eagle today.
Look at this question. Let me correct the narrative on this, all right? Zay, are you going to waive the 125 scrimmage yards and give the people a jersey? Keith, we're giving away a lot more than a Saquon jersey, brother. Every super chat today is going to jerseys. I don't care about no 125 number. I'm giving away jerseys all week long, Keith. Are you kidding me, Keith? We're going to a Super Bowl, baby.
Great stuff, man. Great stuff. Hey, for the record, one more time. you can't look at this thing here and not just absolutely just be amazed by how well they played. I don't think you guys are really looking at how well this was orchestrated. Passing game was great. Run game was great. Run stopping defense was great. Pass coverage was great. The whole fucking thing was spectacular. The coaching across the board. Now, I will say this. Them going for 2 and not kicking that extra point, which you would have made it a 2-possession game when he went for the 2 and they didn't get it, you could probably bitch at that a little bit. But when you put a 55 burger on somebody, all that shit's a race, Zander. You get the wide out for that and go like this. Yeah. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's a wide out conversation where you just wide it out after you say it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I'm going to read through a couple of our great super chats that we got here in the show. Some people dropping big ones. Polsky, how you doing, Sills? Appreciate you, Polsky. And how about, we brought it up earlier, but I want to bring it up again for those who missed it. Brian Pumper, obviously famous on here on the JAKIB chats for
thank you, Brian.
His discredit of Jalen Hurts. And he's even said, man of my word, Jalen Hurts deserves the praise. The kid did it again. I can't even hate one more game. And he dropped $50. So let's give a little credit to Brian Pumper. Excellent by him. And that $50 will be taken, and we'll buy some jerseys to give away to the great people of JAKIB Nation. So well done there. James M. checked in and said, belt to ass. Simple as that. F with Rocky, and you get the leather. Happens every year, NFC Championship game.
Hey, by the way, James, the Rocky statue curse thing continues to live. Anybody who desecrates the Rocky statue ends up getting her face kicked in.
I think I thought that was fake news or that it wasn't actually Commanders fans who did that. But anyway, nonetheless, we felt the ass happened. Right, for sure. J-Mac checks in. J-Mac 42. There you go. Sounds like Johnny McMullen. As the vice president of the Jalen Haters Club, he carried the team today along with the defense, and I can't talk shit no more. One more, baby. Fly, Eagles, fly. Let's go, J-Mac.
J-Mac, I'm with you. I'm in your room there with you, brother. I feel it, too. Wait till Angelo comes on at 3:30. I asked him today. He goes, I can only take one day of ass beating. So I was trying to get him on today, Zander, but we'll get him on tomorrow. He's like, I can only take one day of getting my ass kicked.
Yeah, good stuff. Dirty D checks in with 50. Man, thanks to everybody for all the great support on the channel. By the way, you guys have made this season our most successful season ever at JAKIB Sports, and it's really all because of the great people and the community that we've built here on the channel between myself, John, and obviously Dan Sileo, host of the National Football Show. It's been an unbelievable season, and we're still going, everybody. It's not over yet. Not many teams, not many fan bases, not many sports hosts in the city can say that they're still going on January 26th, okay? So we are
ball now.
Yes. So we're in rare form here in Philly. Dirty D checks in. That's how you win a ball game. Hungry dogs run faster, and I didn't eat breakfast, so I'm friggin' pissed off. Jason Kelsey, let's go, baby. One more. Breaking out my leather Eagles Super Bowl jacket. Third time it's left the closet in 7 years. Look at that. How do
you feel about now you're back in the game as an Eagle fan, growing up, you and your pop, living in the city all the years? Surely, dude. I mean, this is another shot at it, right?
Yeah, and I told the people last night, I was out yesterday all in the cities, driving around. I was all down in South Philly. I was, driving through the city. You can feel it in the air. But Sales, honestly, man, I'm just happy for the people because I don't think people I don't just mean the city loves their sports teams. That's not what I mean when I say this city lives and breathes this. Many people in this city use this team as an outlet from some of the stuff that they have going on in their life or the bullshit or, this is a real thing that that galvanizes this city. And I think they deserve it, man. That's what I'm most excited for, that the great people of Philadelphia get to experience another run. And I really hope we can cap it off with a parade.
Absolutely. And Zander, we're talking to the folks for almost 5 years now in Philly, and people who are outliers too, because obviously other people chime in from San Francisco, from all over the country, but 90% of the people are from Philadelphia. I got to tell you guys, man, I mean, you guys run the radio stations, you run our network, you run the Inquirer, because you run it with your passion, because you love these teams so much, especially, dude, I don't care about the Sixers, the Flyers, or the Phillies. Philadelphia is an Eagle city. It is an NFL city, and the rest of them are fighting for second, third, and fourth place.
Yeah, now maybe years back it was started probably as a Philly. Philly. Well, Flyers are way back when, in the 70s, probably. You're right about that.
Yeah, 70s.
But more recently, Phillies, and then after 2010, I really think this Eagles team is just an Eagles city now. Polsky Trucker, man, thank you for the support. They put pressure on JD and made him throw perfect passes every time. He also had the Commanders fighting for every yard. Yeah, no doubt. Defense.
I thought he played great. I thought he was great in that football game.
I thought Jayden was good, but he just went up against the real king of the NFC. All right, the real king of the NFC.
Yes, the real king of the NFC is a factual comment. Absolutely.
Yes, it is. It's 100% factual. All right, we have John McMullen who's texting me. He's coming up shortly. Big Sills is going to be sending me an invoice after the show. Hey, man, I thought this was a 90-minute program. We're going to be going a little overtime. We'll talk to John McMullen shortly once Nick gets off the podium. Does anybody know if Nick has stopped speaking yet? That's where we'll be. Whoa, here we go. Schmidt Digler with a $100 burger right to the giveaway fund. Schmidt, thank you, brother. Super Bowl, baby. Let's effing go. Great year, great community.
Thank you.
Thanks for the outlet to come together and root for our team. Schmidt, thank you, man. I appreciate that. That's an awesome super chat.
That's awesome, guys. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, it really is, Sills. I say it all the time to these people how much
Me too.
It's an honor to talk to them football, man, all day. It's what we do. We're privileged to be able to do it, and we got some great fans here.
Hey, I've been talking sports for almost 40 years, and it's one of the greatest things I've ever done is have a seat in front of people where I get a chance to talk sports. No question about it, man. It's why I don't take days off. It's why Zander doesn't take days off. You can always tell when people love what they're doing. You know how that is? People don't take their days off. They don't take days off, and they don't take shows off, and they don't do this to Zander. Hey, I got nothing to talk about today. They don't do that shit.
5 years is silly. I've never
always something to talk about.
5 years is silly. I've never heard him say that. Actually, the year could be 2055, and he'll still have something to talk about when it comes to this team. So you're getting that. Schmidt, thank you, man. That's a really cool super chat, brother. I appreciate it, and it has been a great honor talking this team with you all year long. Let's get to our next commercial break. I appreciate it. I love you all. Hit that like button. We'll be right back in 3 minutes, and John McMullen will join us shortly from Lincoln Financial Field. Back in a few.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The following is a real testimonial from the father of a young injured victim.
I didn't think she was going to make it.
Major Perry's daughter was the victim of a horrific accident caused by someone else's negligence.
If you don't find the right counselor, law firm that you're looking for, you will get lost in the wilderness.
Badly injured? Call the Fritz and Bianculli Law Firm at 215-458-2222 and find out why they say, "We got this."
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong as the #1 health insurer in the region. No IBX is always looking out for you.
We noticed that there was mold creeping into our basement about a year and a half ago, and wanted to make sure that we were getting rid of the problem permanently. We actually reached out to several different contractors to get it resolved, and actually 2 of them recommended DryTech to us as a long-term solution. Other than the noise factor, we wouldn't even know that there was work being done on the basement level. It's really been a clean process for us.
Score and save this football season on your car insurance. Before the next game, save up to 40% on your auto insurance policy. That's right, 40% savings. Call an audible this season and contact the Del Val Insurance Group. They're an advocate for you, not an insurance company. That means they'll get you the right coverage and save you up to 40%. Call managing partners Fran or Jim of Del Val Insurance, 215-354-0122, or score and save at dvigi.com. dvigi.com.
EAGLES. Eagles.
Welcome back in, everybody, to the JAKIB Postgame Show. The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl bound for the second time in 3 years. We're now set to be joined by John McMullen, host of Birds 365 and the #1 Eagles beat reporter in town. Before I do that, real quick, I do want to give a big thanks to T-Bone for the big $100 super chat toward the giveaway fund again. T-Bone, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Just huge. You guys have officially set the record for the most super chats we've ever gotten. So, the Birds are going to the Super Bowl, and you can tell the people are fired up. I love it. Appreciate you, T-Bone. Appreciate you, everybody in the chat. Let's go to our man, John McMullen, joining us live now from Lincoln Financial Field. Johnny Mac, welcome into the postgame show, brother. The Eagles are going to the Super Bowl for the second time in 3 years, Johnny Mac.
Yeah, pretty impressive performance as well. Arguably their best performance of the season, I would say it was. I mean, certainly offensively, putting up 55 points, setting the record for most points in a championship game. NFC was 49 in 2015 by Carolina, 51 by Buffalo, which Nick Sirianni just reminded me. I was telling him what the NFC's record was, but he's a big fan of Frank Reich, obviously, so he knew the AFC record was 51. 55 points to put up in this kind of atmosphere. And I this is the third championship game in 8 years in Philadelphia. 38-7, 31-7, 55-23. The NFC better, figure out how to make sure this game isn't in Philadelphia, because they're not winning this game in Philadelphia.
Hey, John, that defense, man, I'll tell you, the defense, the O-line, I know the guys were great. Hurts had a great game. Saquon was great. AJ, all the stars showed up. Goddard showed up. But, boy, I said this, you can go back in the history of offensive linemen. You can go with Dante Scarnacchi. You can talk about Alex Gibbs. You could talk about Mike Munchak, Larry Bechtel. You can go down the line with Howard Mudd. Boy, I'll tell you, man, every single time that Jeff Stoutland put someone in there, no matter what the situation, and they gutted that out, the way they gutted that out by moving the guard centers around, and they still ran for 230 yards. Unbelievable job of coaching, preparation, staying to what you guys are, the identity of the team. Play action was open for Hurts. Everyone showed up, but John, that guy's got to go down as one of the greatest offensive line coaches in pro football history for what he's developed and what he's continuing to develop, because the story of the year has been that O-line, and they just beat the hell out of the Commanders, man. They had I thought a white flag was going to be raised, John, on how bad they beat them up.
It should have been. Well, except for Jayden Daniels, who, showed up and is a phenomenal football player. But the rest of that Washington team shouldn't be here. They got elevated by superstar rookie quarterback. But, I talked about it all week on Birds 365 for Zander. I mean, if you went back to – people forget that Minnesota team was really good. That San Francisco team was really good. I didn't feel like this team was on that level, and the Eagles blew out those two teams. Circumstances always a little bit crazy when you have a blowout, but this one, they were just so much better. I mean, they could do anything they want on offense, anything, at any point. I look at two key aspects of the game on the first drive, which was pretty impressive. 18-play drive for Washington. They ended up with a field goal. They went for it on 4th down twice, and then they kick a field goal at 4th and 3 from the 16-yard line.
I know.
I'm like, what are you doing, dude? What are you doing? And that's in the moment. And I said, yeah, I think that's a mistake. And then the Eagles get the ball back. First offensive play of the game, Saquon goes 60 yards for a touchdown. They never led again. They never led again. Zander can tell you too, Dan. I said all week, if you're on the road against a more talented opponent, you got to do some things to try to steal that game. You got to try to win that game.
With the fake punt, and they went for it a bunch of times.
Yeah, they did. But at that point, it was a little bit too late. You're down 14-3, and then you're really in desperation mode. This team had to play from the lead. They could, 3 points. All right, to take the points crowd was happy for 10 seconds.
You're not beating Philly with field goals.
No, you're not. You're not beating Philly with field goals. And then you contrast that was 14-12, 4th and 5 from the Washington 45. Nick Sirianni could have flipped the field, could have punted, could have pinned him back, said, nope, let's run a go route to A.J. Brown. It was about 31 yards. And that set off about in 80, 90, whatever it was, span where Washington completely fell apart. The Eagles went in for the touchdown. Then he had the kickoff, fumble, touchdown again. Game was essentially over at that point. But in that minute and a half of game time, it was about 80 seconds of game time, Washington not only allowed 2 touchdowns, they fumbled the football. They had 3 penalties, a 16-yard pass interference on 3rd and 13 in the end zone that set the Eagles up for a touchdown, and 2 unnecessary roughness penalties where they just lost composure. And that was the football game. Those 2 fourth down plays really emphasized this football game.
Hey, John, when the team was 2-2, do you think, go back and think when they were 2-2 and they had a ton of turnovers, and then they ended up kind of transforming their team and where they are now. Did you really envision that they'd be here in this? It's hindsight to look back now, but 2-2, man, quarterback wasn't playing well. He had a lot of turnovers in the game. He was playing all right. Barkley hadn't really been established, and they go into that bye after getting murdered by the Bucs down in Tampa, and they come out and they go on this run here, man. I mean, did you really see this? Especially with that defense that this team, I mean, Vic Fangio didn't even know. He said week 12, I'll know what we're looking at here. John Bond and all these guys, the obviously arrival of Nolan Smith now. I mean, that was a huge game he had today. Did you see that? Did you feel it was this?
No, but more, it wasn't about the first 4 games of the season. I've said it pretty consistently. I actually think they overreacted to the first 4 games of the season because AJ didn't play in 3 of them. And you mentioned that Tampa game. In that game, they didn't have AJ Brown, they didn't have Devontae Smith or Lane Johnson. They didn't have all 3 of them. So I'm sitting there going, I expected them to lose that game. But really coming off of last year, and the part you bring up with Vic, no, I had no idea this was going to be the number 1 defense in the NFL. That week, it wasn't about the first 4 weeks of the season. It was about last season, how they finished up. And then, you point, there's 3 things. You've mentioned 2 of them already: the offensive line, the defense, and then Saquon Barkley. The difference making of Saquon Barkley, like I said, this offensive line, this has been the best running team in the NFL since 2021. And they were a great running team with Miles Sanders. They were a great running team with DeAndre Swift. They were already great. He took them to another level with the ability. You saw the play today. Like that little sort of misdirection. You got the crackback. that probably goes for 20, 30 yards if it's Miles Sanders, if it's DeAndre Swift. Big play. You still got to finish. You got to finish a drive. You got to go 30 more yards or whatever. Saquon spin move makes two people miss, touchdown. That I think is a big difference to have that kind of home run hitter. And you married that up. Now, this is what today is what the Eagles envisioned the entire season, which was, all right, if you want to try to stop Saquon, we're going to throw the ball. If you want to try to play too high and bracket Devontae and AJ, we'll just run it down your throat. Today, they did everything. You know, Jalen Hurts talked all week about the banged up knees, playing with the brace on his knee, still looked pretty mobile, but he was throwing the football with conviction. Conviction. Yes. When he throws the ball with conviction, this is the best team in the NFL, and that's what happened today. So if they show up in New Orleans 2 weeks from today and they play like they did today, they're going to win the Super Bowl. I don't care who wins this game.
Yeah,
Kansas City and Buffalo.
Yeah, and right now, Buffalo just got another big touchdown before halftime. So it's 21-17 in that game, and we'll keep you posted. John, I want to ask you, a little bit more of a broad question on the two lightning rods, I guess you could call them, of the Philadelphia Eagles, and that's Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts. They're maybe two of the most talked about and debated guys in the NFL world. What does this win today? What does this win today, two-time now NFC champions in 3 years? What does it mean for their coaching staff and for Jalen Hurts as a player?
Yeah, I mean, they're already, that's up to individuals outside the building. From the standpoint of, I guess everybody wants accolades at some level, but for this particular team, nobody's won at a more consistent level over the past 4 years, with the exception of Kansas City. And that's the Nick Sirianni, Jalen Hurts era. So, I mean, from their standpoint, 2 Super Bowls, 4 playoff appearances. I do think if they finally win one, that'll put a stamp on things. I think people inside the building understand what they've been able to accomplish. It's not easy to win in this league. And again, other than Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, nobody's won at the level of the Philadelphia Eagles in this era of football. So I do think there's a little, whatever word you want to use to describe it, entitlement, whatever. When you win this much, you expect to win every week. What more could you ask for if you're an Eagles fan? I don't know. Other than, obviously, the Ricky Bobby rules apply.
Yeah, John,
there's going to be a bunch of people. There's going to be a bunch of people upset if they don't win the Super Bowl. I can't help those people.
Well, John, what do you think the Buffalo Bills are a dynasty when their team won 4 straight Super Bowls? Do you look at that?
I've said this pretty consistently. I think it's when I talked about Mark Levy over the years, I think it's far more impressive to go to the 4 consecutive Super Bowls than win one, to have that consistently greatness. But I get that not a lot of people are going to agree with that. Like if you're the New York Giants and when you go 9-7 and get hot and win a Super Bowl, and then go back to being 8-8 and 10, and you're consistently great, like Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas, Bruce Smith. Yeah, I think that's more impressive personally. But I get very, very few fans are going to agree with that.
John, I want to ask you a question, and Sileo, credit to you because you asked me this a little bit earlier. How does the experience from the Super Bowl 2 years ago help this team, you think, in preparation? You think they've learned anything from that moment? That was obviously the first time a lot of those players have gone through winning an NFC title and the buildup and the media and the hype and everything that comes with it. What do you think they've learned, or what do you think that experience does for them the second time around here?
I lose John?
Oh, I thought you were asking Dan. I apologize. What?
No,
Second time around. I mean, remember how many people there? The modern NFL. There's such a transitory nature to it. There's so much turnover. Think about how many new players there are. Think about, when we saw that list of AP award finalists, Defensive Player of the Year, Zach Bond finalist, wasn't here. Defensive Rookie of the Year finalist, Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, weren't here. Offensive Player of the Year MVP finalist, Saquon Barkley, wasn't here. Even Vic Fangio, assistant coach finalist, wasn't here. So I don't. There's certain guys, obviously Lane Johnson and Jordan Mailata and team, Darius Slay and on, team captains who have been through it pretty consistently. But every single year, including the Kansas City Chiefs, who are going for 3 straight, look at the turnover of their team. It's usually 33% or somewhere in that range of just completely new players. So you have a core group, and you hope that core group can impart some of that knowledge. But every NFL team is a little bit different. And that's why you hear coaches talk about all the time, whenever it ends for them, it's the last time this particular group will ever play together. Nobody can say, there can be a lot of continuity, but for that particular group, that is the last time they were ever play together. So, when you have a group of guys who've been through it, know how to win, I think that's a positive, and they can uplift the younger guys. But for so many of them, and so many of the key players, they weren't even here 2 years ago.
How about this, John? This is the best playoff game Jalen Hurts has ever played and won. You can make the argument in the most significant games in the last 2 years that this is the most impressive game that he's played. You can give me all you want about Pittsburgh, but, the gimpy knee, the passing game, which has not been very good this year. He had 92 net passing yards in 2 playoff games, and they needed him. You and I both have been saying this. I think they needed him to really play well in this football game, and I think he played his best football in 2 years, in my opinion. And again, this is his best game he's ever played in that won a game. So, I mean, it's the best he's looked in possibly 2 years here. I mean, do you agree with that?
Yeah, certainly the only other game you could argue with, you just mentioned Pittsburgh this year, certainly his best game this year. And considering the stakes, certainly I would put maybe this game above Pittsburgh. Not the best he's ever played, but yeah, this season, and because of the way they've shifted offensively since week 5, and they've gone to more of a risk-averse type offense. This is the most, and I'll say it again, I'll use the word conviction. This is the most convicted he has been throwing the ball. He seemed to, when he dropped back, he seemed to have a plan. He seemed to trust what was going on, and he got the football out on time. Now, part of that, watching the game from up top in the press box, guys were open. I don't think Washington played a particularly good game in the secondary, or the back seven as a whole. Guys were open. Do we know if he's ever going to be the guy who's going to be the anticipatory thrower? Is he ever going to be the guy throwing people open? Probably not. So, all games are a little bit different. You look at Kansas City, potentially. I've said pretty consistently, I'd rather play Buffalo 1,000,000 times over than Kansas City, which is better equipped, I think, Kansas City to play you tough in the secondary with a guy like Trent McDuffie and, Steve Spagnuolo's aggressiveness. So, if they play Buffalo, I'd be pretty confident that the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl. Kansas City, not as confident. But if they play like they played tonight, they're going to beat anybody.
You're going to beat anybody.
John, please bring us inside the locker room, man. You just came up from down there. You were on the field for the festivities or wherever you were for them, and you saw the locker room, some of the players celebrating. I saw some of the pictures you put up on social media. Jalen Hurts had a cigar and stuff. What'd you see down there, man? Give the people listening just a glimpse into what you saw for the team celebrating this NFC Championship win.
Yeah, I mean, Gilly the Kid was down there. A lot of music, a lot of excitement when we popped in, when we first got into that, bunch of guys dancing. Anytime you reach this level, there's a lot of excitement. And again, for a lot of people, this is the first time they've done this. And you can see the guys who've done it before, and they're a little bit more reserved because they know there's one more step. For the guys that haven't done it before, think about Saquon Barkley. Think about what he's been through. 6 seasons in New York, made the playoffs once, losing over and over and over and over again. And all of a sudden, he's on a team that's now 17-3 and, was lost 1 game in 3 months or whatever it is. It's tremendously rewarding if you think about what we talked about pregame with Landon Dickerson and Cam Jurgens, and Cam being up only as an emergency option, and sure enough Landon gets hurt, and all of a sudden Cam Jurgens has got to go back in there and play through a lot of pain, which he admitted after the game. It's a grind to get to this point. I know Nick talked a lot about the criticism that Jalen receives, which I think is a little overblown, to be honest. I think every NFL quarterback goes through similar criticism, good, bad, or indifferent. I talk about that all the time. In their particular city, they're under a microscope. And in this particular city, you're expected to win every week. And not only win every week, do it in an aesthetic way.
Make it pretty, Johnny Mac.
Yeah. So, there's worse things though. I'd rather be on a good team than a bad team.
Absolutely.
I'd rather get nitpicked than lose. So that's what, hey, if we're not nitpicking this team, what the hell are we going to do? We're going to tell you how great they are. Yada, yada,
Hey, John, I pulled out the wideout when I went like this. Why didn't he kick the field goal to make it a 2-possession game? And then I realized there's 55 points on the board, and I went, let me wipe that out.
I knew they were going for it there because Johnny Mac explained to me if they're ever at the 1 on a 2-point conversion, they're going for it. So I knew it was coming, John. Thanks to you.
It would have made it a 2-possession game instead.
We don't need to get into that. Please, we don't need to get into that.
Wait, let me white it out again. I'm sorry.
Yeah, re-white it out. 55 points.
Yeah,
John, you've been covering this game for a long time, man. I know you talked about it at the start. You ever seen a dominating performance like this in such a high-stakes game? I mean, 55 freaking points, Johnny Mac. If you told me that on Friday, I would have called you nuts.
Well, I would have never said 55 points, but again, 2017, so 2018 NFC Championship game, 38-7. 2023 NFC Championship game, 31-7. Yeah, I've seen dominant performances like this, especially in this stage. The NFC better figure something out, because if they keep coming to Philadelphia, they're going to keep losing conference championship games.
Yeah, no,
it's a very difficult place to play. I'm watching the first drive, and I'm like I said, I'm tweeting along. I'm impressed by Dan Quinn. He's going right away, fourth down again. He goes, he gets them both. And then at the 16-yard line, he goes, I'm going to take the points. Like I'm looking at myself like, you just went for it twice, and you're going to take 3 points against this team. And sure enough, it bit him in the you know what.
Hey, John, didn't it look on the sidelines when Barkley gets that first carry, that all of a sudden everyone on the Commander sidelines, he just went like this. I could have swore I saw people lose their breath. They just go, you know how you're all jacked up, and all of a sudden you look over and you're like, did that guy go 65 yards on us on the first play? That takes the air out of your sails, man.
Well, I said at the time, think about it. You're grinding for 18 plays.
Yeah,
54 to get 54 yards over 7 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's going exactly the plan. You're shortening the game. You have a chance to go up 7-0, a chance to play with the lead, not a field goal lead. 18 plays, 54 yards. And the Eagles get the ball, first play, 60 yards, touchdown. Commanders never led again. Never led again.
Johnny Mac, last question for me, man. We appreciate you doing it, being down there for a historic NFC title game today. If you're Nick Sirianni, what's your message to the team for the next 2 weeks as they now prep for Super Bowl 59?
Yeah, Nick was asked about his message to the team. He's always asked about it. And you know, he said, I'm not, he wasn't worried. Today was the day for celebration. You have a little bit of extra time, but you know, he's been pretty consistent. It's about us, not about them. Whoever it is, Buffalo, Kansas City. If the Eagles, and what he means by that, if the Eagles play like they did tonight, they're going to win the football game. So if they don't turn the ball over, if they play at this level, it's outrageous. Typically, when they don't turn the ball over, they win. Here they didn't turn the ball over, and they were really clicking offensively. Now, again, being here live, and maybe you don't get to see it on the TV version. The Washington secondary was not good today, so it's sort of like a combination. And if you let guys run open, you're going to look bad against the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm pretty sure Trent McDuffie's not going to let people run open. Not positive, he's a human being, but I think it's going to be a little bit tougher. And with Buffalo, though, I mean, Buffalo, you got to worry about the offense and Josh Allen. I don't like that matchup from an AFC standpoint. Kansas City and Philadelphia, I think, will be a better game. Even though I'd probably rather see Buffalo Philadelphia because I'd like to see something different. But, you know, Kansas City Philadelphia probably be the better game.
Yeah, let's go Kansas City, Philadelphia. Well, everybody wanted something different in college football, too, and you had one of the worst title games of all time. All right, John? So sometimes you should enjoy the best at the top. Johnny Mac.
I think the worst title game was TCU. Where was it? Yeah.
That's right. How could I forget that one? That was
Notre Dame actually came back. I mean, they were a play away to getting a chance to tie the game. So didn't get off the field on third down.
Johnny Mac, great stuff, man. Any other final thoughts before we let you run? You got to get home safe. We'll talk to you on Birds 365 in the morning. Any final thoughts from you, Johnny Mac?
NFC champions again. Boy, you know, I started covering this team in 2016 on a daily basis. So the only thing I can conclude is I must be a good luck charm because they're always fucking good.
Yeah, they really are, John. John, great stuff, man. And we appreciate you joining in today. Great job all year, and we'll do it one more time, Johnny Mac. I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, John.
All right, thanks, guys.
There's John McMullen here on the JAKIB Postgame Show. Great stuff from Johnny Mac. Great breakdown. We appreciate him checking in live after the locker room. Big Sills, I know we're way over, brother. Just your final thoughts here before I let you run, man.
Dominating performance. By the way, you may get Brandon Graham back potentially for the Super Bowl too. I know there was some questions being thrown around about.
Curious to see if they use them, Sills. Curious to see because Vic's really liking that 3-man rotation right now.
I'll tell you what, though, man. I think he could bring something still to the table if he's got it. I think he could still do it. You know, I mean, look, man, all the stars showed up, and the most important part of the team showed up. Two of them, the quarterback and the defense. The defense has not let anybody down this year. Barkley has been consistent since Brazil. Think about it. He has been good since Brazil. They needed Hurts to play big. He played big. And just shows you, Zander, what we've kind of been talking about. When Jalen Hurts plays well and plays big, nobody hangs with him. When he doesn't, everyone kind of stays in the ball game with him, and you have to really fight a 60-minute game. This is kind of what we've been saying all year.
Right.
When you get that kind of performance from both the passing game and the run game, I do believe this is what Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman envisioned when they built the team, and it was on display in a historic 55-point NFC Championship win. And now you're on to your third Super Bowl in 8 years with a chance to validate all your hard work. Really tight game, still between Kansas City and Buffalo. That's going to be a great, by the way, two great fan bases too, Kansas City and also Buffalo, along with the Eagle fan base. It's going to make for a great time in New Orleans. So
No doubt,
great
man.
job.
And also,
Great job. And by the way, to all of you, kudos to you. Hey, well, I tweeted this a couple minutes ago. Well. Jalen Hurts shows up in a big game. Kudos to you.
He deserves it, man. No doubt about it.
You know,
And how encouraging, though, that this team just played their best football of the year one game before the Super Bowl. That's pretty encouraging stuff. Big Sills, excellent show today, my friend. We'll keep our pre-show spat to our little pre-show spat. I love you, brother. Great show, man. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Right, brother?
Hey, you know why we can do that? Because we love one another as our friends, and we're friends forever.
No. On a more serious note, you know what? It worked.
Fuck you.
Big Sills, love you, brother. There's Big Sills.
Hey, Zander, great stuff. Hey, folks, we want to thank you so much for all the likes and also all the supers. You guys keep it going, and I appreciate you guys. 2 to 6, Angelo's going to eat a lot with me also at 3:30. Your pop was like this. Get Angelo's ass on. Angelo goes, I can only take an ass beating once a week. That's all I'm going to take. So that's going to be on Monday. Love you, Zander. Love all of you guys as well. Please hit that like button. Appreciate you guys. You're on to the Super Bowl.
Good stuff by Dan Sileo there here on the JAKIB Postgame Show. Excellent job from Dan Sileo. Excellent job from John McMullen today. You know, right before we came on the air, I'll give you guys a little sneak peek. You know, Sills joins in, and I'm like, oh, you're not being grumpy today. I'm not letting you be grumpy today. And he took it real personally, and we spatted back and forth for a couple seconds before we went live. But it was a lot of fun, man. We had a great show today, and what a beautiful time this is, man, in the city of brotherly love, in this city, in Philly. This team is going to a freaking Super Bowl. This team is going to a freaking Super Bowl the second time in 3 years. Jalen Hurts played lights out. The defense shows up again. Zach Bond's the best freaking linebacker in football. Best linebacker maybe in the last 3 years in football. This guy is a beast with what he is doing. Everybody shows up. Saquon again. I mean, it's just a beautiful time. And I've said it on the show many times, but I really love it for the people of this city. I really do. I mean, for the people who live here. Jason A-Team, I know you're local around the city. Philadelphia. I know you. I think you're local. Anybody that's local. We got a lot of listeners who are all around the area, but I love it for the great people of this city, man. I love it for the great people of this city who live and breathe this football team. And it's just awesome to get this win, for this team to be able to do this. And credit to them, man. They really put up a great performance today. All right, here's what I'm going to do. Now we're officially into the post-game portion of the show. We are going to have our segment with the great fans. All right. So I will send out the link for you guys to join me on the show. How many are joining me on the show after we win the NFC title game? We got to get some new people. We got to get a lot of people in here for this. So I'm looking forward to talking to you guys. I do have to run through some super chats. Okay. And now I told you guys at the start that every super chat today would go to the great people of JAKIB Nation. Okay. And what I mean by that is, every dollar I got on today's show and every dollar that we continue to get, if they keep coming in, all right, we'll be going. I'll be buying more jerseys. All right, look, I was over and I picked up some jerseys for the people. All right, so I got a bunch here. We got more to give away. Some of these have already been given away, so I got to send them out on Monday, but I'm going to go and load up, all right, because we're going to a Super Bowl. All right. And if there's ever been a time for Zander time and giveaways and giving back to the great people of JAKIB, it's right now. It's right now. So we're going to be giving away jerseys all week long, every day. Every day we're going to have a giveaway. We're not going one day without a giveaway. All right. So it won't be today. We won't give away anything today, but we will give it away tomorrow. And if you're not a channel member, you got to be a member to win. All right. So make sure you guys are a member. It costs $5 a month to be a member here on JAKIB Sports. And we appreciate every single one of you guys. So join in, send those super chats, and I'll put it into the fund. I'm going to take a commercial break real quick right now. When we come back, I'll hit on some super chats. Tyler, thank you. T. Will, $100, man. Thank you so much. T-Bone, I referenced it, didn't read it yet. I will read it. Another 100 burger. We had Jason A-Team give 100 burger. Schmidt Digler gave 100 burger. I mean, the great people of JAKIB Nation were really showing out today. Polsky gave $50. I mean, you guys really crushed it. So big thanks to all of you guys. Let's take this commercial break. I'll be right back in 3 minutes on the JAKIB Postgame Show. Thanks, everybody.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The following is a real testimonial from the father of a young injured victim.
I didn't think she was going to make it.
Major Perry's daughter was the victim of a horrific accident caused by someone else's negligence.
If you don't find the right counselor, law firm that you're looking for, you will get lost in the wilderness.
Badly injured? Call the Fritz and Bianculli Law Firm at 215-458-2222 and find out why they say, "We got this."
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong as the #1 health insurer in the region. No IBX is always looking out for you.
We noticed that there was mold creeping into our basement about a year and a half ago, and wanted to make sure that we were getting rid of the problem permanently. We actually reached out to several different contractors to get it resolved, and actually 2 of them recommended DryTech to us as a long-term solution. Other than the noise factor, we wouldn't even know that there was work being done on the basement level. It's really been a clean process for us.
Score and save this football season on your car insurance. Before the next game, save up to 40% on your auto insurance policy. That's right, 40% savings. Call an audible this season and contact the Del Val Insurance Group. They're an advocate for you, not an insurance company. That means they'll get you the right coverage and save you up to 40%. Call managing partners Fran or Jim of Del Val Insurance, 215-354-0122, or score and save at dvigi.com. dvigi.com.
EAGLES, Eagles.
Welcome back in, everybody, to the JAKIB Postgame Show here on JAKIB Sports. I'm your host, Zander Krause. Don't forget to give me a follow on X at Real Zander. I communicate with all you guys over there. I haven't been on in a little bit, obviously, because I've been on the show here. I can't wait to get over there and read some of the great things that people are putting out there. I love looking at the footage and the clips and everything that comes out of the locker room and, the city. What's going on? Everybody, somebody in the chat, tell me, how electric is Broad Street right now? It must be insane. It must be insane, the energy down on Broad Street. So I'm looking forward to doing that. We'll bring some people on too, as well. So we had a couple upgrades here. Well, Lucius the Show, JAKIB Legend member, T-Bone becomes a member. Thank you guys. You guys will be officially entered in on the fun this week that we'll do. We'll give away a bunch of stuff to the channel. So we appreciate you guys for doing it. I appreciate everybody who's in here. Hit the like button on the show, and we will continue to run through some of the comments that you guys had about this big game. I want to thank T. Will. All right, I thanked everybody before the break, but special thanks to everybody for the big super chats, man. Everybody, it's going to go right back to the community. So if you're in the chat, thank the great people who are super chatting us. All right, it goes back to everybody. T. Will says, great team win tonight, and I'm going to say it for Hurts. That's what y'all wanted to see, right? Along with the run game, salute the defense, special teams coaches, Howie and Lurie. Let's keep putting belt to ass. One more, baby. Yeah, man, if they get this job done, T. Will, this is the greatest team in Philadelphia Eagles history. Without a doubt, I think. Without a freaking doubt, what they've been able to do. Richard, thanks for becoming a member, man. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting this channel and what we do. T-Bone checked in. Records today. Most quarterback rushing touchdowns in the playoffs, 9. First quarterback in history to have 1 passing touchdown and 3 rushing touchdowns. First QB to have multiple games with 3 rushing touchdowns. QB running back duo, first time in history where each have 3 touchdowns in the same playoff game. Fly, Eagles, fly. Holy shit, man. T-Bone, how about that, brother? How about that? Tyler Conger checks in. If Hurts played like this, their game, there wouldn't be any critics. I just want him to play consistent every week. Don't take bad sacks. Throw the ball in. Trust his receivers. Complete game today by Hurts. Go Birds. Tyler, you're right. But the one thing I'd say to you, Tyler, is we got 60 minutes, man. 60 minutes left. So I hear you. You want to see consistency. We're past that point, though, man. We're past that point, right? I mean, you could be in week 8 and want more consistency. When you're a win away, when you're 60 away from hoisting the Lombardi, you win by any means necessary. I don't give a shit if he throws for 12 yards next week. Or 2 weeks from now, sorry. We got a long 2 weeks, man. 2 weeks. Oh, man. This week felt long leading up to this game. 2 weeks. But I appreciate you, Tyler. Thank you, man. Tyler followed up again. 36 years old from Vermont, been a fan since 2000. Been surrounded by Pats fans my entire life, and it's brutal. They're pretty quiet these days. No doubt, Tyler, they are. I do like Drake May. I think he could be pretty good, but they're over in the AFC. I don't care much about them. Keith said, enjoy this win. Thank you, Keith. When we say fan, we mean fan, true fanatics. No, Philly to Chicago, this city deserves it, man, don't they? They really do deserve it. I got that one already. Rashid says, no holes defense, and Barkley is def key, but I think completing 70% of your passes and no turnovers this playoffs is just as key. Great team effort. Rashid, did you hear the stat I gave? The Eagles defense has 10 takeaways in these 3 playoff games, and we have given away the ball 0 times. So 10 takeaways, 0 turnovers. Think about that. If I told you back at the start of the wild card round, you're going to have 10 takeaways and 3 turnovers, you'd say, oh, this team can be in the Super Bowl easily. They're going to be in the Super Bowl easily. Jason 18, what's up, my guy? Appreciate it. Eagles really made a hell of a finale for the Link. Last game at 24, Eagles at the Link. What a game. Let's win this, man. Dickerson is such a baller, future Hall of Famer. Hurts was dealing, man. So proud. Me too, Jason. You said it well, man. I'm proud of this football team, man. I'm proud of these guys, these players, these coaches, this staff. I'm proud of the city, man. The city deserves it. The city, I know we don't do much. I know we just root them on, but, you know, I'm pumped for this city. I told you that. That's the stuff that makes me the most excited. You know, I'm happy for the players and everything, but I'm most happy for the city. I'm most happy for, you know, the 9-to-5 workers in Philly who grind it out every single day to put food on the table for their family, and their one joy, their one hobby, their one, you know, piece of life that they love, you know, unconditionally is this football team. Those are the people I'm happy for. I'm happy for Jalen Hurts, but Jalen Hurts making $55 million. You know, I'm happy for the city more than I'm happy for anybody else, but I am happy for the team as well. And I think they proved a lot today in the win, but definitely dope. Definitely dope. Manny Martinez. What's up, Manny? Good to see you, brother. Thank you for being here, and thank you for the $5 super chat. This is the way the offense is supposed to look. Get the 4 stars consistently involved. Saquon, Brown, Goddard, Smith, and in that order, let's hunt. I love it, Manny. You're right, and I agree with you on the order as well. T-Bone, what's up, T? Thank you for all your love today, man. T-Bone has a 10 there. He had 100 here. I think he had another 10 here. T-Bone was really showing love. So big thanks to you, T-Bone. I appreciate you, bro. Irony setting in. Eagles vindication. 1981 NFC champs, Super Bowl New Orleans, lose to the wild card Raiders 27-10. Not this time. Destiny is in hand. The stars are aligned against all odds all year long. And yet, good super chat, man. I appreciate it. Look at Dakota checks in. I love you, Zander. I'm living it up right now. Dakota, I love you too, sir. Thank you, man. I love you too, and I mean that. Dirty D. This team has changed the narrative after today. All I heard was how great Washington was. All day, this team is full of grit. One more. One more, baby. One more. One more. 60 minutes to live in the NFL history books forever and ever. I love it. Illuminati, the law firm Burks and Baum was excellent today. I love that. Where's Brian Pumper? Hey, Sean Mims. Got to give him credit. Start of the show. Brian Pumper, $50 super chat and said, "Look, man of my word, Jalen deserves the praise. The kid did it again. I can't even hate one more game." So tip the cap to Brian Pumper. He didn't have to do that, and he did it. All right? He didn't have to do that, and he did it. So excellent stuff there. Excellent stuff there. Wow, I got a lot of super chats, folks. I'm going to have to put it on the back burner for a second, and don't worry. If you put in a super chat, I'll get to every single super chat. All right? Devin, what's up, man? Picked up your jersey yesterday. I told you that. All right? I got you a Cooper DeJean. I know you messaged me, Barkley, but I have Cooper DeJean for you in 2X. All right, man? Actually, sitting right next to me. All right, so Cooper DeJean coming your way. Kelly Green stitched. All right, hopefully you're good with that. If not, I can give that away to somebody else and we can go through the thing again because I'm going back to my guys to get it. Devin Parker says, guys need to get healthy over these next 2 weeks. We got to turn up in NOLA. Let's fly to a championship, fam. We will. I feel it, man. I feel it. I feel it. I feel it. Sig Lord says Tyler becomes a member. Tyler, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Everybody should become a member. If you're listening right now and you're not a member, I don't know how. It's $5 a month, okay? And I'm going to be giving away as much Eagle merch as I can get my hands on in the next couple of weeks. So get your memberships in. If you're not a member, come on, get that membership in. We'll be here covering it wall to wall for you all through the Super Bowl. So get your memberships in. We appreciate it. I'll share the link out to join, to become a member now. All right. I'll share that link up now for everybody. Replace pinned. All right. That's pinned at the top. So if you want to become a member, good stuff there. Sig Lord wants a giveaway tonight. Sig Lord, maybe. Most likely not, though. I'd like to do them tomorrow and start and do them every single day. I've never done one on the postgame show, Sig. We always do them on the day after. So most likely will be Birds 365. And we'll also give some stuff on Sileo as well. All right. We'll also give some stuff away on Sileo show as well. So we're going to be doing giveaways on both shows this week. So looking forward to doing that. I'm going to send the link out now, and I'll start to bring you guys up on the show. All right. We'll do this for a little bit. I do have to work in super chats. I want to read everybody's super chat. They're all appreciated. I can't thank you all enough. Okay. Here is the StreamYard link. I shared it up. Who's joining on the post-game show to talk to me about this massive win over the Washington Commanders? Right? We're going to do it all. I can't wait to talk to the great JAKIB Nation. Everybody's checking in. My legends first. We'll get everybody in here that joins. Abe's in here. Lucian's in here. Bob Brown, Joe Whipp, Anton's in here. We got all the great people showing up. So looking forward to getting to each one of these guys. Bob, once you get your camera working, I'll go to you. Riding the bench is in here. I'll get to everybody, all right? I'll get to everybody. Let me let some people, a little more people check in, and then I'll start them up on the interviews over there. My guy, Brandon Howard, checking in. Good to see you, Brandon. I'll get to you soon, all right? I love this comment. Chasen says, they dropped 55 for BG. What do you guys think? They dropped 55 for BG? I love it. Jair checked in. LFG, this ain't the Lions. Belt to ass. Anybody can get it. The team balled out on all phases. One more game. One away, brother. One away. Prince. I haven't seen Prince in months, man. Where's Prince been? Prince, good to see you, brother. Fresh out. Shout out to my dog, Flexing. Shut up, Sills. How you doing? I guess, were you in jail, Prince? Fresh out? Is that what that means? Am I reading that wrong? I'm not sure what Prince means. But, Prince, good to see you, bro. Good to see you, my guy. All right. Appreciate you being here, brother. Look at 18 with the $100 at the start of the show. He started us off on the hundreds. Pumper at a 50, Polsky at a 20. Appreciate everybody. All right, let's keep rolling. Let's get to the great people of JAKIB Nation. Joe Whipp, coming to you first. All right, brother, here we go. Joe Whipp, ready to join me now here on the JAKIB Postgame Show.
I'm
What's
here,
up,
Zander.
Joe? What's up, man? NFC champions. How you feeling, Joe?
Well, if they play like this, the Super Bowl, they're going to squash whoever they're playing.
I know. What's going on in that game, by the way? You got that game on?
Yeah, it's 22-21 Buffalo.
Ooh, Buffalo just took the lead.
Yeah, they just missed a 2-point conversion.
Boy, that's a couple for them that they've missed. Man, Joe, what'd you think of the game today, bro? They were unbelievable today, and now we're 2 weeks away from playing in Super Bowl 59. Pretty surreal feeling.
Well, other than the fake punt and the missed field goal, they played a flawless game.
Yep.
And the biggest question I have is where the hell was this offense all season? Kellen Moore changed the routes. I mean,
Everything was good,
that's why I heard Johnny Mack saying that people were open. That's because they weren't running the same shit they ran all year long.
Mm-hmm.
They completely changed the route, the way they attacked. They had guys short, going deep. They had all kinds of stuff. That's why guys are open. And then bringing Dallas Goedert on the jet sweep. It's like, where the hell was that all year long?
Right.
That's what I don't understand. The defense pretty much did what they were going to did all year long, but the offense, Kellen Moore changed a lot of stuff up. And look what happens, 55 points.
55 points is crazy, man. Joe, you've been following this team for a long time. Ever seen a game like that? I mean, 55 points like that. I know John brought up like we beat some teams 38-7.
No,
I don't know. Something about 55 feels different to me.
Well, I can remember losing to the Giants 62-10.
Holy
back
shit.
in 19. The Giants were still at where they play. I think they played that at the Yale Bowl. Fortunately, we didn't see it on TV because CBS technicians were on strike, so the game wasn't televised.
Wow, look at that! Look at that little tidbit of info, Joe. That's good, good info.
So I've seen a few of them over the years, but nothing like this in the playoffs. Well, I guess, hey, you can't beat that Nick Foles magic, man. You got to bring him to the Super Bowl. When he's in the building in the playoffs, that's a guaranteed victory.
All right. So what's on your mind as we're now 2 weeks from a Super Bowl? What do you want to see this team do to get the final trophy, Joe?
Well, I'd like to see. Be curious to see what was wrong with Dickerson. He had a lot of blood on his knee, so I don't know if he had some sort of a laceration or something like that. I was concerned about him. I don't think anyone took notice of this. So did you see in the pregame, Jalen had a pretty bulky knee brace on?
Yeah, and he took it off.
As soon as I saw him with it off, I thought, he was fucking with him. He's wearing that knee brace, and they're over there thinking, okay, look at what he's wearing.
Right.
He showed no restrictions.
I didn't see any
in the game. None.
He didn't look slower at all to me.
No.
He looked like he moved around the pocket well.
Same thing with A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown was cutting. He was doing those little dig routes where he'd stop on a dime, and those guys were healthy.
Yeah,
so that helps. That helps too.
Little gamesmanship from the Birds. All right, brother. I appreciate you joining in today. 2 weeks away, man. 2 weeks away from the Super Bowl. Feels pretty good to be back, right, brother?
Yeah, and I'll tell you where I'm not going. I'm not going to Florida because I'm going to be here for I'm going to watch the Super Bowl here and go to the parade, Zander.
Got to have the right setup.
The jacket's all ready, Zander. The Princess Di jacket's all ready for the parade.
All right, let's see it. All right, good stuff, Joe. Appreciate you, man. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, bye-bye.
See you, man. There's Joe Whipp joining us here on the JAKIB Postgame Show. Let me keep rolling and go into some more legend members. Lucius, the show. I'm coming to you next, brother. You ready to rock? There he is.
Yes, dude.
What's up, Lucius? How you doing, brother?
Yeah, I'm doing fantastic. We're going to the Super Bowl. What do you mean I'm doing?
How you feeling, man? How you feeling after that win?
Look, I feel pumped, man. Like we came into this day, everybody was doubting us. I got some bad news that my pop had to go in the hospital. He called me from the bed. He said, "Hey, don't worry about me. We're gonna take care of business, Birds." He's like, "Just call me after we done." I called him after we done. He said, "Look, they took care of business. I'm coming out of here. We're going to the Super Bowl." He's like, and so that's what we doing right now.
I hope everything's all right with your pop. I'll be praying for him. All right, brother.
I appreciate that. I mean, this is an uplift spirit for him too. So, we 2 times in 3 years. That's crazy. Like, we went from a franchise that didn't know what success was like to now just probably taking it for granted. Man, 2 times in 3 years. That's crazy.
Yeah. What do you think of Jalen Hurts, man, and what he did today?
Expected, honestly. Like I probably am the only person, maybe not, that just thought to myself, "Mm, he doesn't care. He just doing what this will win. He doesn't care about stats." He said it all the time. And Washington challenged him to beat him, and he said, "Okay, you challenge me, here I come." Every time I I went and I looked back at something actually before this game. I went to go look at the national championship game that he lost because everybody brought up that he's been the second place person in that game. I don't know, there's the Deshaun Watson game that he came back 4 seconds left to beat him.
Yeah, the
And
college.
I'm talking about college. I'm talking about his Alabama days. You know about this game.
Yeah, I was there. I remember that game, watching that game live at Innisfree, a bar in Tuscaloosa. I remember it like it was yesterday.
Well, you remember this when the lights were heavy and they were down, and it was a minute left in the game. Jalen Hurts put the team on his back. He plays big in big moments, and the team needed him to put him on his back. And he said, "Look, bum knee or not, let's go." And he did that he does that everywhere he goes to. He did that in the Super Bowl. He should have got a chance to win the Super Bowl. It was a right call, but just horrible to call that time. We would have saw Jalen Hurts march down the field. This is what Jalen Hurts do. Hey, the moment is big. My pulse is steady. If y'all need me, I get me, and that's 55 points.
Yeah, man.
55. Like, it's crazy.
55 is
Like
nuts.
and this is the game where I think, and I think you had touched on this. All credit for this game should really go to two people, and it's the coordinators. The coordinator, Vic Fangio, had his defense ready.
Yes.
They let some yards up, but they didn't let points up. And Kellen Moore opened up the book. Those jet sweeps for Dallas got him.
I think it was Kellen Moore's best game of the year.
Oh yeah, and I think, look, jet sweeps to Dallas Goddard. Nobody called that one. Nobody called that one.
Man. That was crazy. I almost questioned it. Like, should they be doing that? That jet sweep to Dallas Goddard, but it worked out perfectly.
Yeah, and he had him with everything. Pitch out. He actually had Jalen Hurts pitch the ball instead of just handed it off. He had the shovel pass. He had the jet sweep. He had route concepts where it wasn't a slant and all goes. He had stop and goes on one side, dig routes on the other side. I mean, he told Jalen Hurts, he's like, "Hey, no long yard thing." He's like, "If you see it, throw it, but if not, let the ball go short to your playmakers." Everybody was making plays. AJ was involved. AJ and his inner excellence was involved. Like, this was the perfect game called by Kellen Moore. He deserves credit.
I love it, man. I appreciate you joining in today, man. Give me a score prediction for the Super Bowl, bro. I know we don't know who we're playing. I know that's hard to do, and I'm not going to ask everyone to do this, but
I'll give you two. I'll give you two score predictions because I actually was just thinking about this. If it's the Chiefs, it's 28-20 Birds. If it's the Bills, 31-14.
You think we're a lot better than the Bills? We are a lot better.
It's just when you think about it. No disrespect to Josh Allen, those skill players are.
Yeah,
they're good, but I mean, they're not world beaters. Like, Josh Allen is the world beater.
Yeah, Matt Collins had a big catch today, I saw. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe an ex-Eagle.
Matt Collins. Oh my God! Like, another Eagle wide receiver that goes somewhere else and is actually doing something. That's we need to fix that.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, brother. I appreciate you doing it, man. Good
brother.
stuff. We're Super Bowl bound, brother. Enjoy it. All right, man. I'll be praying for your pop.
You too. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you got it, brother. There's Lucius the Show joining in. Great stuff by him. Great stuff. Everybody in the chat. Appreciate it. I'm going to keep rolling through the great people of JAKIB Nation here. Brandon Howard coming to you next, brother. You ready for me? There he is. There he is. What's going on, my man? How you feeling?
Oh, man, I'm feeling so good, bro. I'm feeling so good. I don't know what you...
Man? What stuck out to you most from today's 55-23 ass beating of the Commanders?
Well, I don't have a lot of time because I don't want to eat up forever because I have so many thoughts about this game. I do feel like I want to give credit first. The team played so incredible, 55 points. And if I was to give any criticisms at all, it was that one point in the game that we had to kick a field goal and we missed it. I felt like it was like 3 things in a row. Jalen took a bad sack. Kellen Moore called a bad play on 3rd down, and then not knowing Jake Elliott well enough, knowing that he has been kicking bad from plus 50 all year, to not punt it. Our defense is incredible. Just punt it at that point, right? Like, don't try to like kick a 54-yard field goal. I don't know. He just hasn't been kicking those all year. But like, those are my only criticisms in the game. I thought Jalen was pretty good. There was only a couple times I thought he was gun shy. That bad sack on that drive I was just talking about. AJ looked open on the one-on-one.
Yeah, but Brandon, here's what I'm going to make you do, because I appreciate the sentiment. But did you hear Sileo on the show today say, I had to take the white out and white out anything? I'm going to make you white out all of your concerns, because you're not allowed to have any today, Brandon.
Absolutely.
55 to 23, and we're going to a bowl.
Absolutely. 55 points to a division rival in an NFC Championship. 7 touchdowns, 7 rushing touchdowns, never been done. 55 points in a championship, never been done. Jalen Hurts putting up like nearly 300 yards passing when everybody's just dragging him across the coals, myself included. I'm like allowing people to talk shit about him. So like Jalen, once again, proving the doubters wrong. AJ having a big game. I just feel like at this point, whether Dickerson's hurt, Cam's hurt, I have like the 2017 vibes that it doesn't matter who goes down. Somebody is going to step up on this team and deliver a big play. Burks goes out there. Dean goes down. Burks plays possibly
punch out. Yeah, a peanut punch by Burks.
Dude, Burks is having quite the postseason. You got the fumble against the Packers. Like, man, Burks is just playing unreal. Bond's playing incredible. I am in love with this team. I'm in love with this season, and everything is like becoming more enjoyable in hindsight. The more we're pushing forward, like that snow game is easily going top 3 all time if we seal the deal here. It's going to be top 3 all time. Like, it's going to be
no doubt. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, brother. I appreciate you checking in, man. I appreciate
all right, thanks, man. I appreciate you having me on.
I'm sure I'll see you in the chat tomorrow morning, right, brother?
Hey. Yep. And score prediction. I don't care who we're playing. We're winning by 21 points in the Super Bowl, baby. Let's go.
Oh my
Let's go. I'll see you tomorrow morning.
Appreciate you, bro. Good stuff.
Let's
bro,
go.
Brandon.
Fly Eagles fly, baby.
Fly Eagles fly by Brandon. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Everybody's got a little bit extra juice tonight, man, as they should. All right, Twiz. See, Twiz, I knew you'd love your love note, Twiz. Twiz was making fun of my love notes. I knew you'd love the love note, Twiz. You can't fool me, Twiz. You're a sucker for a nice love note from Big Z. All right, you can't fool me, Twiz. All right, let's keep rolling on the great people of JAKIB Nation. Dakota Warren, I'm coming to you next, my guy. Here he is, joining me now in the post-game show. What's up, Dakota?
Hey.
You looking good, my guy. How you feeling?
Hey, I'm feeling great, man. Hey, Z, you called it all week. You said it all week that we were going to do it like that.
Man.
All
man.
week,
What
man.
you think, man, watching today? 55 freaking points in an NFC Championship game. Unbelievable.
Man, I loved every second of it.
Yeah,
I really did. They had me a little nervous there in the middle, because I just knew what Jayden Daniels could do, man.
You know what? The only time I was a little nervous was when they were within 11, and I thought maybe if Jayden strikes you, but then they turned the ball over again, and we went back up by 18, so it was kind of a wrap.
Yeah, I just seen that Quinyon held Terry McLaurin to, I think, one catch for 7 yards and had an interception on him.
Early in the game. It was that first drive. Yeah.
That's the man right there.
Oh, you got the Quinyanamo Bay shirt. I love that, bro. That is sweet.
Yes, sir.
Where do I get my hands on them? I got to give some of them away.
I got it from Philly Sports Shirts, man. They got some of the coolest stuff out, man, for real.
Yeah, I got to get some.
Yes, sir.
All right, brother.
I appreciate everything you do, man. Hold it down.
Man, I appreciate your support.
I'm going to have a hard time going to sleep tonight. I can tell you that.
I know, me too, man. I'm wired up. I'll be talking to the great people for hours the way it looks right now. Dakota, what do you think of the Super Bowl, man? 2 weeks from now, you think this team is good chance to win it or what? Different second time in 3 years. So.
Oh yeah, man, we got to win it. We got to win this one, man. You don't know how many of these opportunities we're gonna get, man.
Yeah,
for real. It's been a blessing being the Eagles fan, man. Really. Yeah, me and you are kind of close to the same age, so we've been blessed, man.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
I'm 32, so my whole life the Eagles have been,
been good.
We've been winning. Yeah,
I'm a little behind you, man, but yeah, amazing what this team has done, and now the success seems to be just compounding at this point. Yeah, Dakota, great stuff, brother. I'm sending out your jersey. I appreciate your patience, by the way, and I can't wait to see you in the chat this week. All right, brother.
Yes, sir, man.
All right, see you. Good stuff from Dakota Warren, man. Love everybody of JAKIB Nation checking in. Some new names. Dakota's in the chat all the time, but that's the first time we've had him on the show. So great stuff from Dakota. Good beard, too. Dakota had that grizzly offensive lineman beard going, man. That reminded me of Lane Johnson. Shout out to you, Dakota. Good stuff, bro. Good stuff. Let's keep rolling on the great people. Bob Brown, are you with me? I'm not seeing you, brother. You're a white screen. I don't know what's going on there, Bob. I'm going to boot you from the studio and try and rejoin, and then I'll get to you next. All right, man? I'll get to you next. Akbar, coming to you, brother. Coming to Akbar now, joining me on the post-game show. What's going on, Akbar? How you feeling, brother?
I'm good, Zan. How you doing, homie?
Good, man. 55-23. We just destroyed the Commanders in the NFC Championship game. What's your first response, brother? First reaction to it?
Woo! That's my first reaction. But I got a lot of shit to say, dog. So stop me.
Don't hit me.
Stop me when you got some pushback or whatever. These are my takes. Tom Brady called an awesome game.
I agree.
Nice play by the rookie DeJean, and that was just one play I was talking about. He had several good plays. He had the whole stadium calling his name. Who I like seeing Shipley on special teams opposed to having Cooper DeJean on there. As I told you, I don't like seeing him on there. He's too good for the defense. Saquon is amazing. That very first play that he ran was fucking amazing. It was insane. He spinned off the ball and then just ran for a touchdown on the first play of the game. And then his first 2 touches were touchdowns. That was fucking insane. Redskins 18 plays, only 3 points.
That was a key moment. You heard John McMullen talk about that. That was a key moment for him to settle for 3 there.
Yeah, that was absolutely. I mean, I don't think that the game would have turned out any differently if they did go for it and got a touchdown. But the fact that they went 18 plays and only got 3 points, they basically said no mas. They basically pulled a Roberto Duran and said, "Fuck it, we're not going no more. We don't want to fuck this up. We already set the clock twice in a day. We got the time right on the clock twice in one day. We're not gonna go for a third. Let's go for the 3 points." So they said, "Fuck it." So then you got the Eagles D, born with the punch out and Blankenship with the recovery. That play was fucking awesome. Bourne is the best linebacker in the league. He's maybe by far the best defensive player in the league. He's fucking awesome. I appreciate him. You know what I mean? Wonderful catch by Devontae Smith, AJ Brown, Goddard. Like Jalen was dealing that ball. He had 8. I heard Sills mention that he had 8 incompletions and 3 or 4 of them he threw away. So that was crazy. He had a very, very good game. Saquon, I said that already. First 2 touches for score. One I said what a play by Washington, that fake play that they threw. I thought that was pretty awesome. Oren Burks had a great fucking game. He been playing lights the fuck out. I seen Jalen throw to AJ in tight windows so many fucking times. I don't know why he didn't throw it to him, that deep pass into the end zone. I thought AJ would have caught that. I get the aggression when they went for the field goal, when they went for the 2-pointer. I think I would have went for the field goal. Whether they got it or not, I still would have went for the field goal. It was still like a 2-point, I mean not 2-point, a 2-score game at the time. Jordan Davis, great game. The second drive of the half was all Jalen Hurts. Slay got burned on the second on the 2-point conversion. Ball called Bourne with another fumble recovery.
Yeah,
Kellen
man,
Moore called.
he was amazing today, Zach Bourne.
Hell yeah. Kellen Moore called a hell of a game. Nolan Smith walks down Jayden like he stole something. Saquon gave him the Stephen Curry. Did you see him after he ran the touchdown? He gave him the Steph Curry. Washington was coughing it up like they had the flu. Oren Burks was terrific. Jalen Carter beat up the bull biases, whatever the fuck his name is. He kind of like pushed Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter looked at him and was like, what? Pushed him the fuck down on the ground. And then he had to cart his stupid ass off the field. That was
all right.
awful.
Here, let me ask you this though. All right, because you're running back the game, but we're missing the big story, which is that the Philadelphia Eagles are going to the Super Bowl. Right? What's your take on that perspective of it rather than individual game stuff, which is now history?
My take on the Philadelphia Eagles going to the Super Bowl, they was destined to go there. They was destined to go there. I think that collectively they put a very, very good game together, and this is the best game that I seen Kellen Moore use his offensive players. I had tweeted earlier today that I wanted to see Dallas Goedert get the ball more. Everything was cohesive. Everything was like it was like Motown. You know what I mean? It was so much rhythm in a game today on both sides of the ball. I was proud of Vic Fangio as always. I mean, all credit due to the Eagles doing everything that they could do and look the best that they did all season in the most important game of one of the most important games of the season. They put the Redskins away. They put them away, and it was done in an awesome manner, man. I was very pleased to see it. It was a great game.
Good
what
stuff.
Do you think?
I thought it was great, man. I thought you recapped it well. Now I'm already starting to gear up. Think about this, this Super Bowl. Obviously, job's not finished, man. I'm channeling my inner Kobe. Job's not finished on this one. It's exciting. It's great, but it's our second one in 3 years. We've accomplished this before. Now we want the big one. We want the Lombardi, and we'll see if they're able to do that. Should be a great one coming up. What do you think about that game? It's Eagles or Bills, Chiefs. I have a preference. What do you think?
I don't care which way. I told you this a few weeks ago. It doesn't matter to me one way or the other. The biggest thing for me was getting out of the NFC. I thought getting out of the NFC would be the toughest thing. Right. The AFC, between the Bills and the Chiefs, I'm watching the game right now. It's a slugfest. It's almost like both teams are exactly the same. They're great quarterbacks playing with not very good talent, but they're making it happen. They have good defense. I think that KC's defense has a slighter edge. They have Chris Jones. He's a fucking monster. And that kid McDuffie, he's good in the secondary. And then, Patrick Mahomes do Patrick Mahomes shit. He running the ball now. He just got tackled. So so either way, I don't give a shit who we play. We could play either one. I feel like we're going to win. We got the number one defense in the league. How many times have you seen the number one defense in the league fall off in the Super Bowl? How many times?
Why would I think they're going to fall off? They just dominated the NFC Championship game. They're not going to fall off.
They're not going to fall off. So to me, this game is all about emotions. We just got to get through it, do what we got to do. Hopefully they do exactly what they did this year. Listen, man, as much shit, I don't know if you've seen the video I put out this week on Jalen Hurts, but the shit I've been giving Jalen Hurts this year, I mean, every time I do, he make me eat my words. Like the ball played phenomenal today. He looked, outside of the one time I thought a couple times I thought he held on to the ball a little bit too long. But he was real zippy. He was real zippy with the ball. And then he did get a chance to let AJ Brown shine, get the touchdown in the end zone. I love seeing Goddard doing what he did. Like he had Jalen Hurts, he kept his bum juice home today. Now he ain't bring it to the stadium. He did his thing. So I'm gonna give him that.
No doubt about it. Akbar, good stuff, brother. I appreciate you joining on, and I'll talk to you hopefully when we're Super Bowl champions, brother. All right, man.
My last thoughts is, I got a little bone to pick with you, Zane. I gotta let you know this, dog.
All right.
You gotta, let up on the old heads with this technology shit, man. We old heads, like we don't all get it like that. Like I'm from the last generation that used to go outside and play. You know what I'm saying? Your generation come out the pussy with a laptop downloading apps. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be surprised if you had a game.
Let me ask you this. All right, I hear what you're saying. How old are you? 50? Somewhere in there?
I'll be 50
you
next
got
month.
30 years left on this earth, at least.
What?
God willing. God willing.
You crazy? What?
You gonna spend the rest of your days not knowing how to use the stuff that every person on the planet uses to communicate? Bullshit. Load up YouTube like you watch me every day. Type in, how do I use an iPhone? How do I use a computer? How do I do this? And learn, for crying out loud. I say the same thing to my pops every day. Come on, Akbar. Get out of here with that shit.
You ever heard of Rasheed Wallace? You ever heard of Rasheed Wallace?
Basketball player?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Rasheed Wallace.
You know what me and him used to do when we was little? We used to turn on the fire hydrant and raise popsicle sticks down to the end of the sewer, to the end of the street. We used to play we used to have rock fights.
We ain't doing that no more, dog. We ain't
doing
that.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Your generation was born with a game chair strapped to your ass. Like that. You gotta give us a
I had ADHD, bro. My mom couldn't keep me indoors. I like to be outside too. I was not a TV watching kid, but I'm good with tech because it's my whole life now.
But you are right though. YouTube do. I give you that. YouTube, like all you gotta do.
Yeah.
Is type.
When you get done watching me, why don't you go and do that? Why don't you go and do that? All right, brother. You know what? I'm gonna say that was the worst Akbar take of the year. Okay.
What?
Learn tech. All right, I gotta go. I don't want to talk about tech. I gotta talk about this Eagles game. All right, bro. I gotta run. All right, see you, man. I appreciate you. Love Akbar joining me on the show here. Good breakdown of the game. Thought some good plays stuck out to Akbar. But tell Akbar to learn how to use a damn computer. I got Bob Brown. Bob Brown doesn't seem to have any issues. Joe Whipp does. I don't know. Bob, you're the only one. Let's go to Bob Brown now. Joining me on the post-game show. What's up, Bob Brown? How you feeling, brother?
It's a beautiful day to be an Eagle fan, Zander. Yes, it's a beautiful day.
It really is. These are the days you wait. These are what make it all worth it, right?
Well, so like we've talked about all year, the goal for this team was Super Bowl. They need to go, and again, I kind of like the mentality like they have in hockey. We got the Hallis Trophy. That's great. Okay, thank you. Take some pictures. Let the owner get his roses and feel good about himself. We have unfinished business. Period. Full stop. Repeat the line. I want the Chiefs to win this game. We're going to slay the dragon in New Orleans. Because if you beat the Bills, it's still going to come back. But you didn't beat the Chiefs. The Chiefs are this decade's team.
Yeah.
Okay. And again, the Chiefs, as many deficiencies as they have, because they don't have the roster we have, the Chiefs have the best staff left on the field.
Coaching staff?
I listen, until proven otherwise. Andy Reid calling the offense and Spagnuolo calling the defense, and that's not throwing anything at Vic. Okay?
If you think I'm going to deny you on that, I'm not. I agree with you 100%.
That's you go against you. Josh Allen might be playing better at quarterback right now than Mahomes is, but Mahomes is still, Mahomes. I don't it'd be hard for him to lose his yellow jacket. Okay, he'd really have to do something stupid. He just has to play good ball. I want to take them out the same way we beat the Patriots. It means more when you beat the biggest bully on the block. And I don't care what anybody says. The Chiefs are the biggest bully on the block. We got beat by them. We got our faces punched in last year and we caved. This team got up off the mat. We're going to New Orleans. 55 points, man. This was a great game. But if we don't close that game out in New Orleans, it's a hollow victory. Okay. And it's,
Very
I'm not, I mean, look, don't get me wrong, 55 points. I mean, the Eagles scored 58 against Detroit back in 1995. Detroit's coming in with Megatron and Barry Sanders in that game. And the Eagles just with Rodney Peach just stuck it to them. This is the NFC Championship game against the Washington Redskins, because I won't call them that other name because it's just butt stupid. Okay? We beat the Redskins 55 points, and they were on a roll, and it was time that they turned back into the pumpkin. Okay? The defense is playing great. And listen, the guys tonight, everybody on the chat, everybody's, jersey giveaways are great. Hey, Jalen Carter jersey, no jersey. We got some real players on this defense that are going to be around for a long time.
I know.
Okay.
Those jerseys are the hardest to come by right now, the Jalen Carters.
Oh, I have no doubt. I have no doubt. Everybody's jumping all over that. And again, like the Bond jersey, I think is a great giveaway. But with my luck, I win the Bond jersey, and then Howie will do something stupid and not re-sign him. I'll have a.
That's why I didn't want to get the Bond jersey at first, because I was worried that they weren't going to sign. I think they're signing him though, dude.
Listen, he's got some. He's hard. Look, he took a bunch of crap when he let the last linebacking crew walk away.
I know, and he was nowhere near as good as Bond.
There's no way now. And again, I agree with front load that contract, give him the 4th year, give yourself some wiggle room on that last year, and say your wife is very happy. You just had that baby girl. You're staying in Philly, and Vic wants you, and you're going to captain our defense. Rock and roll. This defense, and look, we said it also, right? Not a big fan of the soft serve defense, but this team's getting home with the front 4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That's huge, getting home with the front 4. He didn't have to blitz, okay, as much. The secondary looks great. Slay looked like on a couple of plays he was looking for calls, and Slay's played really well. There is no shots to take at anybody. Look, I'm not even going to take a shot at Elliott missing a 50-yarder, okay, because he's been doing it all year, and 50-yarders used to be automatic. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
We'll be kicking inside. We're playing in a dome, but it's Jalen's, not his personality. Jalen's demeanor is unflappable.
Yeah,
it's
that's
literally
such a
really
good word.
looks like,
That's such a good word. I love that word, unflappable.
It's he's unflappable. It's just like he knows he's been taking shots.
It reminds me of someone else who's unflappable. You might know who I'm talking about. Go ahead.
He just has that temperament. Like, I know everybody's been giving me shit all year. At the end of the day, it's all about the Super Bowl. Okay. And let's not forget, this is his first year with Moore, and this was the best game he's called all year. He mixed things up, okay? I think it was a combination of he had to because he had injuries, and he put some other things in. I am really excited. We get through this season, and we come home with the Lombardi, as I think we should. Year 2 with Jalen and Moore, if Jalen can somehow figure out how to pull the trigger on some of these throws, quick release stuff, this team is going to be scary. And I don't want to use dynasties are determined when the run is done.
Right. That's fair.
Dynasties are designed when it's all done. Let's just stay in the conversation, make sure everybody realizes that on our side of the aisle, on the NFC side of the aisle, we're the biggest dog in the yard. Detroit,
you know what I'm expecting?
What's that?
I'm expecting an offseason, Bob, filled with every team in the NFC trying to sign defensive players who can help them stop the run, because every team in the NFC watched this game and 7 rushing touchdowns and Saquon Barkley all year and said, if we don't stop that, we ain't beating that team.
Well, I think the other thing, you're going to see a bunch of teams that have quarterbacks that are not the elite. Your Allens, your Mahomes, your Burrows. When they talked on the show tonight, and they said they had a phone call with Saquon, and he was adamant about, I'm just happy to be on a team that you can go out with a running back and run it down your throat and nobody can stop you. That is, and then watching what they did in Baltimore, I think running backs are going to start getting back into the mix of these things, because as we've seen this year, a solid, now we have an elite running game, but a solid running game can take the deficiencies your quarterback has, some of the stuff, and make them go away, because you're not trying to make a Baker Mayfield be a Josh Allen. He doesn't have to be.
Right.
He just has to play within the system. So listen, this is a great thing. I'm sure the city's going crazy. My niece is in Philly right now. She's across the street from the stadium. If she's watching, don't get stupid. Okay? And don't call Uncle Bob. I'm not bailing you out.
Yeah,
right?
that might be coming, man. That might be coming.
That might be the call. I had to get her father a couple times. I don't want to get my niece. But look, this is great. And one other thing. Lucius, I heard you earlier lifting your father up, Pop's being in the hospital. He's praying for the guy. Hope he comes out. You guys enjoy the Super Bowl together because that's a big deal, fathers and sons.
All right, good stuff there, Bob. I appreciate you, brother. So you feeling good about a Super Bowl win or what?
Oh, listen, running game and defense, yeah. I think Akbar was spot on. The number one defense going into the Super Bowl normally doesn't cough up an egg. The only thing to stop this team right now is this team. 10 takeaways, no turnovers. If we keep, and look, it only takes one turnover in a bad spot, right? That's what happened against Kansas City. We were right in that game. We had a turnover at the wrong spot, and it cost us the game. So 10-0 right now, turnover to takeaway to turnover. That's a great ratio, but that's in the past. We have to do the same thing. Ball control, 28 passes, 22 completions, 4 of them thrown out of bounds intentionally. That's 20 out of 24 for 255 yards. Do I think we're going to run for 7 touchdowns? No. Should we have to run for 7 touchdowns? No, not with that defense. Because I don't see how one of these teams is going to do something to this defense. They don't have the weapons. They got great quarterbacks. They got great quarterbacks, but they have surrounding cast of characters that is going to make this defense balk. Pressure right up the middle. It was good to see Jordan Davis show up tonight. I mean, it was just everybody showed up tonight. We got 2 weeks to get everybody healthy. And as I said in the chat, our MVP this year, no disrespect to Barkley, our offensive line is our MVP, and Coach Stoutland deserves a lifetime contract.
I know.
Whatever it is, here's the check. Whatever you need, you stay. Because
I hope they give him a bonus of a couple million or something. Take care of that guy, man.
Listen, I'm surprised. And I get an offensive line coach, and it's not sexy, and he's a position coach. 2,000 rushing yards with that offensive line, taking Becton, who was a left tackle, turning him into a right guard. I hope that Jeffrey Lurie was sitting up there on that stage tonight, and he's looking, going, I got to sign Becton, and I've got to sign Vaughn, and we can't let Sweaty go. Now, Milton Williams might be a little different. I like Milton, okay? You can't sign everybody, but Vaughn and Becton have to stay. And if I have to choose between Sweat and Milton Williams, I'm going to keep Sweat unless what Sweat wants is just so freaking crazy.
I don't know, man. I might keep Milton.
Well, if you keep Wilton and Milton, then here's the deal. Then you're
keeping Milton. My gutted feeling is they're not going to keep Milton. Like I saw him hug Howie Roseman after the game. It almost looked like they knew that contract talk was coming up. But I don't know. We'll see.
I could see him doing something dumb and saying we let Sweat go because we have the guy on the milk carton and he's got to play. So we're going to work him in and keep Milton. But I mean,
they've already written
that contract. Zander, nobody's taking that contract. $51 million. That guy's going to be here.
Oh, he's going to be here, but they've already written him off. They're going to work around it. I mean, look, they're working around it right now.
Well,
they're playing Felix Hunt.
Yeah, no, I got it. But these young kids are going to have to start getting paid too, and we're going to have to start doing it early because you can't let them get to the market and let the market set the price.
Yeah,
we got to lock them in early and take those Georgia kids and go, you guys are all going to live on the same freaking cul-de-sac. We're going to buy a cul-de-sac. We're going to build all your houses, and you're going to live there, and we're going to pick you up in a bus. And Nick, let me say one thing, because I've been bashing Nick all year, okay? Because I don't see his value. And when you were mentioning earlier that John told you that this locker room is together, if his value is taking all of the pieces that Howie gets and makes them a cohesive unit behind the scenes, then I got to give the guy the nod. That's
a credit, brother. That's part of his job.
It is part of his job. If he's not going to call offense, if he's going to stay out of the way of the other stuff, that's fine. If he can take all this, and I don't want to say Island of Misfit Toys because these are first-round picks and third-round
Right.
picks, and these are real players that didn't fit in where they were, and he brought them in, and Nick makes them gel, then I got to give the guy the credit because that team with his what I perceive as lack of leadership just put 55 on somebody in an NFC Championship game, and it wasn't in spite of him. Those players really like him, and you got to give him credit for that.
No doubt about it. Bob, thank you for joining, man. I appreciate you as always, and hopefully the next time I talk to you, the Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions. All right, Bob?
I hope the next time you talk to me, it's because I got a black and Kelly DeJean jersey that I won, and I'll send you the FedEx tag so I can get it here quicker, brother. Yeah, I know. It's sitting there, brother. I see it.
All right, I appreciate you, Bob. Good stuff, man.
Have a great night, man. Thank you.
All right, see you, Bob.
All right,
Good
brother.
stuff,
Take care.
Bob Brown. The great Bob Brown. Appreciate everybody joining in. We have a special guest tonight, it looks like. Clary Voy. It's not Clary Voy, though, I don't think. I think it's Clary Voy's wife that's going to join in. So we'll get to her now. Let's go to her. Clary Voy's wife, and she'll be referred to as that on the show. Clary Voy's wife, how you doing? Oh, no, I don't have your audio. You gotta get Clary Voy to help you out here. Let me see if I can figure this out for you. 1 second. Do I got you now? No. All right, I'm going to kick you out. Sorry, Clary Voy's wife. Sorry it didn't go as good as you probably wanted it to. I'm going to kick you out and try and rejoin, all right? All right, there we go. Kick her out, see if we can get her back up. I'm going to go to my guy, RMP, next. RMP, you ready? There he is.
What? I told you, 40 burger. They want 50 burger. I told you, we was about to beat the little Washington Commandos.
Yo, RMP.
Bella City, bro.
RMP, you deserve some kudos, my guy.
Go. I told you, bro.
You were on Thursday talking that shit, and it all worked out for you, brother.
You know what, bro? I'm not taking credit. The players and the team, that I just called it what I saw. Like,
yeah,
the game, we should have swept the division, but the refs decided to kick CJ out the game, and then obviously Hurts got hurt, so we couldn't finish the game. But we should have swept the division. We didn't. But we came back, and then we had to smack a little commando booty in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? We had to let them know who the daddy was.
All right, hot shot. Since you're on such a roll right now with predictions, what the heck's gonna happen in the Super Bowl in 2 weeks?
All right. I ain't ready for the prediction yet, though, because we don't even know who we're playing.
All right, I just want to hear a general synopsis on how this game's going to go.
If we play Kansas City, they owe us some money. So it's about to be that game gonna be hey, y'all got us last time on some bullshit ass holding call in the back of the end zone. So it's gonna be one of them. Buffalo, we beat Buffalo in a close one last year. So I think Buffalo is going to be, if we play Buffalo, it's going to be another one of those close games. But
it's 29-29 right now, late in the fourth quarter versus those two teams.
I'm going to tell you what. I think we could. I think we will beat the Kansas City Chiefs easier than we would if we play Buffalo.
That's RMP. I loved you on Thursday, but that's a crazy.
I'm going to tell you, bro. Kansas City owes money, bro.
This team's going for a
Buffalo, we already beat them.
Man, you're happy to have 2 NFC title games in 3 years. They're going for 3 Super Bowls in 3 years.
Man, that's overhyped. I was at that game like last time I told you when they was in here in Cleveland and they played and they did not look impressive, bro. I was in that cold ass stadium, freezing my balls off, and they beat the Browns, but it's the Browns, right? But it wasn't like Kansas City looked. They just looked like, hey, okay, it wasn't like they looked anything impressive or nothing like that all season. In my opinion, I don't think Kansas. I know they only lost 1 game, but I don't see. I don't know. That's just me. I'm a biased Eagles fan, but I just don't see. He had last week. They had the refs help him again because that's Kansas City's way. I know Mahomes had the little throw where he was about to get sacked. And that was cool. But before that was a questionable ass call. So I'm saying, like, it's always you know, a little questionable stuff going on with the KC. I'm not saying that whatever, but it seems that way.
Bro, the Eagles got so many calls today, and I
No,
don't care.
No.
Oh my God, are you kidding
No,
me?
we did not. No,
Why
please,
can we
no,
fans
we
not
did
acknowledge
not.
when we get calls?
The one call.
Let me say
Okay,
something.
go ahead.
All right,
You
because
talk.
the one everybody was mad at me about on the halftime. The best running back in football that has 2,500 yards is lunging forward for more yards in an NFC Championship
He
game
had a whole
with 2 touchdowns already, and they're not allowed to hit him?
Bro, he had a whole foot out of bounds. What are you talking about? His whole leg was out of bounds. Even Tom Brady said it, bro. Come on, man. Tom Brady said he had a whole leg out of bounds.
Premier League. All right, you can start watching Premier League. I'm fine if Saquon Barkley takes a hit. All right,
Come on, man.
All right, but wait. Anyway, I love you. I appreciate you joining the show.
Hey,
you're great, and I hope to talk to you again soon. All right, brother.
Absolutely. See you guys. We Super Bowl bound. We Super Bowl bound. We going to the Super Bowl, bro. Let's go.
All right, there he is, RMP. Why do I love his voice so much, man? He cracks me up. RMP. He's great. He's great. Mike, man. Mike was crying to me on Twitter, too. Mike, go get the Charmin from your bathroom. You know, you might have the Ultra Soft brand. You ever seen that in Target? You know, they have like thin ones and then they have like Ultra Soft. You're the Ultra Soft brand, Mike. That's you, my friend. I appreciate you being in the chat, though. All right, let's go back to Clary Voy's wife and see if we can get her up here joining me now on the post-game show. Do I got you now?
You got sound now?
I got you. You sound good, look good, and you got the baby in arms, being a
Thank
true
you.
mother, which we love. What'd you think of the game today?
I was impressed. I hadn't seen him play like that all year, and we were waiting for it. I mean, I've had to hear about it every day.
I know. Wait, so
Literally.
your husband has told me that you're not an Eagles fan? Is this confirmed? What's the story here?
So I am from Texas, born and raised. I was raised as a Cowboys fan.
Oh, no. We got a Cowboy on the show.
They have let me down. So yeah, no, he's converted me a little bit.
You like that Kelly Green, don't you? Is that what's converting you, the Kelly Green?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Those jerseys are nice.
Yeah,
but,
he told me, he messaged me. He's like, my wife wants one of those jerseys. I'm like, all right, let's do it.
It's the black with the Kelly Green though.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
This one.
I told him you get me one of those and I'll actually wear it.
Yeah, there you go. I got to talk to your husband about that. See if we can convert you. All right. So, do you think the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl?
If they don't, it's going to be a disappointing year for everybody. They have been playing so fucking well, and like I said, I've been watching their games. He's got me every Sunday or every football game, listening to you guys talk. And the way they played today, if they don't play like that next week, I don't know what we're going to do.
All right, we'll see how it all plays out. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining the show. I appreciate it. You were awesome. And tell Clary Voy that we missed him and we love him, and we'll talk to him again soon, maybe after an Eagles Super Bowl victory. All right.
That's the plan.
All right. Thank you so much, Clary Voy's wife. Great stuff there from Clary Voy's wife. Love it. Love getting new additions to the show. And Clary Voy's working on his wife to try and pull her over to the. You want to call it the dark side? Are we the dark side? I don't think. I think the Cowboys are the dark side, right? We're not the dark side. All right. Let me get a riding the bench Eagle podcast. Here he is. He's giving me a load of shit, and he's back from home.
What's popping?
Not much, man. We're heading to the Super Bowl.
Super
Heading to the Super
Bowl.
Bowl.
Hey, man, it feels good. It feels
does.
good.
It
It feels
does.
good.
The
It
city
looks
deserves
great today.
it.
What's up?
What'd you think of the game today, man? City deserves this, I said.
Yeah, City definitely deserves it. The people deserve it. The game was phenomenal. The offense was that was a totally different offense. That was a totally different offense. That is the most fluid, most cohesive, and just the sharpest they've looked all year. Like that looked like
How
RPO.
about
That looked
Jalen
20.
Hurts? How about Jalen Hurts, man?
Dude,
seriously?
Yeah, man. Like what?
I mean,
What the hell,
gotta-
man? Like that
gotta
was an
give it
absolute clinic they put on display. He was sharp. The game plan was fantastic, obviously. And I mean, like that's the team that we expected all year. Like that's what everyone was looking for all season.
Wait.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the team I wanted to see in the wild card round that you came up here and started crying about.
Okay, hold on. You were complaining about the fact he threw a touchdown pass to the guy. You were like, oh, it took him 7 seconds to find. I'm like, no. You wanted a complete offense. I get it. I was happy we won the fucking game. I'm happy that we're in the Super Bowl. I'm glad we dropped 55. This offense, look, that is not the offense that we saw all season long.
No,
the route concepts were different. The play design was different. They got the ball out of his hands quick. And, Bob Brown probably mentioned it before. It was probably due to the injury because they don't want him holding on to the ball too long. So, and we've seen it before. When Jalen gets the ball out of his hands in under 3 seconds, it's the 2022 offense.
Right.
So, but regardless, though, no turnovers once again today. The running backs were dominant. The offensive line, just the Great Wall of Philly is a bunch of warriors, dude. Like they are just next level. That is that unit. That's the best I've ever seen in my football life. Like I've never seen a unit like that before. Like they're phenomenal.
Right.
And I Sills talked about it before. Jeff Stoutland's the best position coach, I think, in the NFL. Best position coach in the history of the NFL, because that guy is just.
He really might be. He really might.
That is some next level shit that they're doing over there. So
I know, and he keeps getting feathers in his cap. Every time there's a new project, he it works.
It makes it work. He makes it work. Like it's unbelievable what he's done. And like, dude, like mixing guys from Jurgens out of the line. I put Dickerson at center. Then he put Steen there. Then it is a spectacular job he's done. And there's something about this team that just seems special. It just seems special.
I agree with you 100%. All right, Super Bowl in 2 weeks. We're at the 2-minute warning of the game that will determine our opponent.
Yeah.
I guess it'd be premature to ask you how you feel about the matchup before we know, but just 2 weeks out from the Super Bowl, what our opponent's going to be the Bills or the Chiefs. What do you think about that prospective matchup 2 weeks from now?
So I think we match up better with the Bills, but I want the Chiefs. I want the 2022 matchup. I want to right.
Now that we're here, that's my thought. Because like last week, I was like, I'd rather play the Bills because I was like, why would I want to play the team that's going for a three-peat? They're a harder opponent probably. But I'm kind of with you. I want that.
I want the Chiefs. And look, honestly, I don't care who we play. We're in the big dance. That's really all that matters, right? But like, something just tells me that like we need to have the Chiefs. Like we need to see that matchup again. And I think this team, if they play like that, there's nobody in the NFL that can beat them. Like
I agree.
There's just nobody in the NFL that can match up. So, I mean, what a clinic that was today.
All right, and before I let you run, I will tip my cap to you. All right, I told you. What did I tell you at the end of our segment when you came on here like a little hothead? All right, what did I tell you at the end of that segment? You remember?
Vaguely, I remember saying that if we run to a Super Bowl, man, that you're going to give everybody the flowers. That's what I remember.
Well, I remember saying to you, if we lose, I'm going to be pissed off at you and I'm going to rip you on the show. But if we go to the Super Bowl, I will give you credit. And you were 100% right on the postgame show. And you said, why are we worried about this? Let's win games in the playoffs. And here we are, brother, 2 weeks away from a Super Bowl berth. So pretty unbelievable stuff, and a good credit to you. All right, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. You guys are great, man. 60 more minutes, man. 60 more minutes and we're world champs. Holy shit.
It feels unbelievable.
I can't believe
I appreciate you. Thank you,
man. I'll see you guys.
Good stuff. Great stuff from Riding the Bench. Shout out to him, man. Got to give him the credit. Got to give him the credit because he did come on here and say, Zander, we won a playoff game. Why are you crying about passing yards? And he was right. He was right. So good stuff by Riding the Bench Eagles podcast. Appreciate him checking in. Appreciate all these super chats, man. Dirty D. I was NFL shop looking for new merch and all. They have all the conference champs gear for sale. And I'm looking at it. And you know what? I'm not satisfied with it. That is not enough for me. It's Super Bowl or bust. Dirty D. Now you're speaking my language. Job finished? Job's not finished. Who said that? Kobe Bryant, the great Kobe Bean Bryant. All right, let's keep rolling. We got 4 more. I got Abe, Anton, O-Line Guru, and Dover. Dover's a new name, new face. Never seen him. Not sure who he is in the chat, but we'll get to him in a second. O-line Guru, coming to you next. You ready, brother? I don't see you. It's dark, but I got you. I think I got you. You there, brother? Uh-oh.
Yeah, man, I'm right here, man. Literally turning into my house right now. Turning into my
All
life.
right, I can hear you. I can hear you well. So just talk to me here. What'd you see today, brother? Big win, 55 points on the board.
I seen what I seen after Cleveland. Zander. All right. Once again, like I said, these last few weeks, I haven't been saying much because there's not much to say. We just got to win the Super Bowl. That's all.
Was that the best Jalen Hurts has looked over for you? I know you've been kind of calling her out this year that you never lost confidence and you never wavered on QB1, but there is something to be said about what he did today. No.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll say I think it was just a perfect storm. Kellen Moore coached, called a good game. Jalen Hurts played really well. I don't want to say all of it on Hurts because I've been hard on Kellen Moore, so I give some credit to Kellen Moore as well. I think it was a good storm of both of them. Kellen Moore had some questionable little bit, but overall, this is probably Kellen Moore best play calling performance since he's been an Eagle, in my opinion.
Yeah, no doubt about it. What did you think of the defense today, man? They just keep creating turnovers. We now have 10 takeaways in 3 playoff games, and we haven't given up the ball once. That's a good formula to win football games, Caleb.
Oh, yeah, I know. Man, we're really blessed. I'm being honest. After that big sack year that we had when we almost broke the sack record, everybody was saying, man, that's a once in a opportunity, like once in a lifetime opportunity to have a defense that good. And I can say within the next couple of years, we had a defense as good or better. And it's a huge blessing. Quinyon playing good ball. I mean, Darius Slay's playing very good ball for his age. Zach Bond. I mean, we look incredible, man. Like I said, it really don't matter which one we get. We just got to play our ball game. Obviously, I think we all prefer the easier opponent would be the Bills. But yeah, I think we're getting the Chiefs. Yeah, and guess what? Jalen Hurts need this. This is a legacy game right here. This is a legacy game. This is for all the marbles right here. Because Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles can put themselves past a lot of people. They can put themselves past a lot of people. So, yeah, man, we're fine those. And all I'm saying is I need you to remember this. Don't forget, because you remember you said, is it too early after Cleveland? I said, no, it ain't too early. It's not too early. We good. We Super Bowl bound. What's the Super Bowl, man? Jared Goff, ain't worried about him. Minnesota, not worried about him. Jalen Hurts, we good, man. Go Birds.
We good, man. We good. Chiefs
we
just
good.
A big first down. It's gonna be the Chiefs, brother.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be the Chiefs. Like I just want to say real quick, man. Go Birds. Man on the mountain ain't got much to say. We just got to finish it off. Man. Go Birds. Zander, keep killing it, man. It just ain't much to say, man. We look good on all phases. This is the best game we had all year.
I hear you. I know,
man. We look perfect. Like we really did look really good. So
yes, we did. All right, Caleb. I appreciate it, man. Get home safe. All right, brother. I know you're in the car. I appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go Birds, man. Go Birds, man. Go Birds. Hey, I want to say this right now. I'm gonna be the first one to say it before the offseason. Jalen,
I got you. Yeah, you're still up there.
If Jalen Hurts wins this Super Bowl, hey, I'm gonna say he's better than a lot of people now. I'm gonna say he's better than a lot of people. Winning is a quarterback stat, and I'm gonna stand on it. We'll talk about that later. Winning is a quarterback stat, and I'm gonna stand on it.
Hey, listen, if this guy wins the Super Bowl, I don't give a shit who you put him above, because I'm gonna put him above most of them too. Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Take care, brother.
All right, good stuff. Everybody's bringing the heat today, man. I love it. Abe and Anton, I'm getting you. Let me get to my guy Dober here. Learn a little bit about our new viewer here. I don't know if he's a new viewer. Maybe he's not. We'll get the story right now. What's going on, my man? How you doing, brother?
Good. I'm Dober's Army from chat.
Oh, okay. So you've been around. Yeah, you've been around for a little bit. Just the first time on the show.
Yeah. Fuck the Redskins. Fuck the football team. Fuck the Commanders. They're going to have to change their name again to get this fucking stink off them. Because they fucking blow. They blow. The whole national media can suck it. Oh, Jayden Daniels. He's so amazing.
You got to tip your cap. He had a good year.
Yeah, he had a good year. So did CJ Stroud last year. See you fucking later. Buddy.
Dober's arm is coming for blood.
It was written in the stars that both of the Eagles' Super Bowl wins would be against the GOATs. Tom Brady, revenge, and Patrick Mahomes, revenge. It was written in the fucking stars, Zander.
Oh my God, you're right, man. We're gonna have a chance to redeem them both. Unbelievable. Yeah, what'd you think of the? Obviously, I can tell from your opening sentiment here on F this, F that, F all these teams. Pretty crazy game though, right, man? How did that compare to like games you've seen as a fan of this team? I don't know how long you've been a fan, but that was pretty unbelievable football
for
game.
as long as I can remember, and it was just amazing, just from start to finish, dude.
Yeah.
Super high energy, and you could tell it was like, like kind of like what you were saying, what John was saying a little bit, how they wanted us. They were wolfing big shit after beating fucking Kenny Pickett, and you got us. You know what I mean? Like, and it was light work, dude.
Dude, we
and
said
Louvu, Frankie Doodoo, you fucking blow. Frankie Louvu, you fucking blow.
He had a good game though.
Yeah, well, we won. Fuck him.
Yeah, we got the revenge. All right, brother. I appreciate it,
All
man.
right,
Thanks
man.
so much
Take
for joining
care.
in, man. It's great talking with you.
Take care.
All right, good stuff, man. I love it. I love getting new people on. I love learning about the great people of JAKIB Nation. If you guys don't know that by now, I can't help you. I love the people. Some dude was like, said, I love you, Xander, in the chat. I hit him back. I love you too, bro. And someone was like, I got love notes in the chat. I'm like, hell yeah. Hell yeah, we do. I love my people, man. I love the great people of JAKIB Nation. They make being a fan of this team so much more fun. Abe and then Anton, you ready? Abe, where you at? I saw you puffing on something. What was that, a cig? Where you at, Abe? There he is. I see him. He's peeking his
fucking smokes a cigarette in here. What the fuck? What kind of bullshit
Hey,
is
what's
that?
going on, brother? How you feeling?
Nobody smoking a cigarette in this
What are you
bullshit,
smoking?
man.
A little doobie?
You know what it is. I'm trying to do the underdog.
Yeah, I got you. Yo, what'd you think of the game today, man? Crazy. You got your Saquon shirt on?
Yeah, I got it on, man.
Hell yeah. And you got the hat on. You rocking on that JAKIB merch, bro. That looks good on you.
It's the fucking good luck.
I know.
That Claire be talking about, man. I'm starting to believe it too, man. Got to keep wearing the Kangol, Xander. You got to keep doing it.
Yeah, bro.
You got to keep
know,
doing
bro.
it.
All right, man. That was a crazy good game, though, right? Abe? 55 points, bro. I mean, look, I know we've talked a lot this year. We talked basically every single game about some of the things. By the way, real quick, breaking news on the fly. Kansas City wins the game. Kansas City wins the game,
Yeah,
and we
man,
will have
here.
a rematch. Unbelievable, man. I can't
Crazy
believe
work, man.
What do you think of the game today, brother?
Today, like
Yeah.
our game, man, it couldn't have been at a better fucking time. To put Jayden Daniels down, like all respect to him though, he did do it good.
He had a
But-
good season, yeah.
Yeah,
But
he had
we
a
put
good
him
season,
down.
man. Hey, we had to show him who's the big boss in this goddamn fucking NFC East. But
Has Jalen Hurts silenced your criticisms?
No, you got to do one more fucking game. You can't just do one more damn game.
Yeah, baby, like Sileo.
One
You're
fucking more.
Sileo eyes, Dave.
Not Sileo eyes. You got to actually expect this. Man's getting paid fucking $50 million.
I hear you.
$50
I don't like to
million.
count pockets, but you ain't wrong.
Hey, I'm not counting the man pockets. I'm counting the fucking fact that he's winning all these damn games. You better win it like this every single time now. I expect more.
I love it, Abe. I love that about you. You want greatness, you want perfection, and you will strive for nothing less. All right,
No.
Eagles Chiefs. Are we winning that game, Abe? You tell me.
Oh yeah, we're winning that regardless. This was a terrible game.
Are you
They
coming to
were
Philly
hitting on
for the
each-
parade or what?
I can't, man. I can't. I got work. I got all this shit I got to do. I
Oh,
wish I could though.
I
wish
know.
I could.
Well, you'll be missed. I don't know if I'm going to be able to even go. I got to figure that out. I got to work, man. Look, if this team wins the Super Bowl, I might be live for 18 hours a day for 30 straight days.
I'll
I'm
be
not even
on it
kidding.
the whole
I'm-
fucking time too.
I'm going to be live all day.
And I'm gonna say this though, Burks is still ass. I don't give a fuck what anybody say.
What?
Burks? Hey, I don't care if he got the fumble. That's what he's supposed to do. But he can't cover for a shit.
Dude,
I
nobody
give
can
him
cover for
goddamn
shit.
crackers and still wouldn't pay him enough.
No linebackers cover shit. You're talking about a backup linebacker.
Vaughn. I'm talking about Dean. They could do it. He's not Dean's level.
Well, no
Sorry
shit. He's a
about that.
backup, Abe. What the fuck? All right, brother. I appreciate you, man. Enjoy that, whatever you're smoking on. I think it got to your head a little bit, but you still
one
make
thing-
perfect sense.
One thing, my man Crawley, he said it best. Terry McLaurin ain't had shit today. I don't want to hear nothing about
He had a
Terry McLaurin,
touchdown.
all this goddamn elite
He had a
receiver.
touchdown.
I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. Where are they
Hey,
at
you're
now?
funny.
Where
Hey,
are
you're
they at
funny,
now?
bro. You're
Man, I
funny,
had me a
bro.
little something today too. It is what it is. You know, we got to keep it on the DL for right now. But you know, what we gonna do? We're gonna take it to the Super Bowl. We're gonna have to do it the same way. I don't give a damn what it look like. I want it the same way. Kellen got some shit out of the bag. I don't know where he got it from. Probably called up somebody. Hey, I don't know what he did. Jalen Hurts took a perk or something, but he did what the fuck he needed to do.
He was on like Abe level, man. Look at Boda. Abe is baked. All right,
You
Abe, I
have
gotta
to
run,
be.
bro.
You have to be. Xander, you're next.
No way. Don't put that on me. All right, Abe, I love you, brother. I appreciate you.
Damn, Bob Lane got to him.
All right, Abe. Abe's out of here. I got to get him out of here before he says something stupid. Abe, I love him. What a great guy. What a great guy and a great viewer here on JAKIB Sports. We appreciate him. Now, for the optimistic Aussie, he has become a lightning rod in the chat. You know this, Anton. You're learning this, Anton. Here he is. Look at him tooting his horn. What's he wearing? What's he got on? Our Dodger fan. There you go. Super Bowl champ shirt from 17. I love it.
That's right.
That was a big win today, huh?
Whew, man, I just got to take a deep breath. I felt like I've just been holding my breath even during the Chiefs game just because.
I know. Football, man, it's exhilarating.
Lots to soak in right now. Oh, man. I actually have a question for you, Xander, before you ask me questions. So you said yesterday on the Big Sills Saturday special that Johnny Mack said something to you, or somebody, some secret source said something to you that you could not reveal yet before the game that made you more confident in how this game was going to turn out. Can you reveal that to the people now, please, Big Z?
I can't reveal it. I don't want to reveal it because I was asked to keep it off the record. But I will say this. It has to do with the camaraderie of the locker room. And it was John McMullen. It's not a secret source. I talked to John McMullen and I talked to one other beat reporter who was in the locker room and gave me the scoop on what went on. And the only thing that made me so confident is one of my biggest questions with this team as we got late in the year was how united are they as a football team? Is A.J. Brown and Jalen, do they like each other? Like, is some of that stuff going to rear its head? Because when you get into these game moments, that's where – pressure either makes diamonds or pressure forces you to burst like a pipe. So when I heard these stories, I said, this team is so bought into each other and the man playing next to him. That's why I felt so confident coming into this game.
Do you know what I love about that, Xander? Just because that goes against what everyone wants to say about this football team. Like Colin Cowherd has sort of been like zeroing in and, I just can't buy into the Eagles because of Nick Sirianni. I just don't think he's got control of the locker room, all that stuff. And that's kind of been what other people have been using to try to knock us down, like to question, like, oh, this Eagles team, is they for real?
No, talented, right. Look, it happens right here on JAKIB. Angelo Cataldi will be on tomorrow, and he'll say he hates Nick again, and he'll be wrong again.
Yeah. Look, I got to say, first of all, come on, Eagles. We're going to the fucking Super Bowl. All right.
Channel your Kobe, though. We got one more, right? I mean, we've been here.
Yeah, one more. Absolutely. I actually channeled my Giannis because I'm a Bucks fan. I remember when they won against Atlanta, and he wouldn't drink a thing. He wouldn't smoke a cigarette. He just sat at his locker, and he's like, no, I'm not celebrating winning the Eastern Conference. We got another round to go. And that's kind of the mentality has to be here when it comes to the Birds, because we do have unfinished business. Now we can talk about it. The Kansas City Chiefs, that's who's going to be rolling into New Orleans to take us on. And I don't know. It makes me a bit nervous, to be honest, just because, like, we're going to have to be the team that stops the three-peat. Like, it's either the three-peat or grease bowl polls in Philly. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
But look, I actually got to say, we're talking about Nick for a second. I think Nick Sirianni is what everyone thinks Dan Campbell is. I mean, everyone's bigging up Dan Campbell. But Nick Sirianni is going to his second Super Bowl. Like, Nick Sirianni is aggressive. Nick Sirianni does stuff that you may not agree with on your couch. But what he does gets results, and he actually wins games. And when it comes to this football game, like, I agree. When are people going to learn that when you start trying to shit on the Eagles all week, when you start trying to find reasons for why the Eagles are going to lose, when you start falling in love with the opponent, and when people put shit on Rocky, do you not know it always ends one way? With an absolute beatdown in Philly. Come on, how could you not see that? The history is there to be learned. So for anybody who's trying to predict this game, like that's for me, that was kind of always the sentiment here was I know which way this ball game is going because I've seen it throughout the history. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Xander?
I do.
Like,
Yeah. I hear you.
Like it's crazy. Like no slide on Big Sills, but like when he said, "Oh, I think the Redskins were gonna win tomorrow," I'm like, I actually didn't know you were gonna go there. I thought better of you, Dan. Like I know, I you know what I mean.
Here's
like,
where we differ, though. It doesn't bother me when someone doesn't think.
No, it doesn't bother me either because I know it's gonna happen.
Like, I don't care if Colin Cowherd doesn't agree with me. I mean, he's a sports talk host. He's also very successful.
Right. Well, Colin Cowherd picked us, but anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
By
good.
10.
I like Colin Cowherd. All right, man. Eagles
Yeah.
Chiefs rematch. What do you think? What do you think? What do you see 2 weeks from now?
I'm an Eagles fan. What do you think I'm going to say?
Well, no, I want your
Look. Honestly, for the first time, for the first time in this postseason, Xander, we're taking on an opponent that I truly respect. That if people are going to pick against us, I'm not going to hate on it because I'm like, you know what? The Chiefs are the dynasty. The Chiefs have won the last two. Look, when all this Washington and the Ram stuff was cute and it was pissing me off. That's more what it was like because it felt disrespectful, right? But at the end of the day, I think we're going to do it. I mean, how could you not think if we put down 55 points today after everything was flawless the way it was? And it's just the fact that we're just more physical. We wear teams out at the end of the ball game. That 21-point avalanche in the fourth quarter, like that's what makes me feel confident. Like Saquon can rip one off at any single moment in the game. Jalen Hurts looked great today, by the way. And I just before I leave, I have to say, like, I've been backing Jalen all year, you know, like even when it seemed unpopular and everybody was looking at me and laughing at me and I was backing him. This is why, because I close my eyes and I know when it comes to these games that he can deliver. And that's exactly what happened today. And so, like, think about it. He's the first quarterback in Eagles history to take us to the Super Bowl twice.
Yep. That's pretty impressive.
Like,
You're right.
Like, man, he's the man. And we want to talk about $50 million. Yeah, he's got to deliver in 2 weeks. But at the same time, if a lot of quarterbacks, Dak Prescott gets paid 60, he can't do jack shit. I got a $10 million discount. My quarterbacks brought me to 2 Super Bowls. I'm taking that all day, man. Like,
$50 million quarterback. I love how you framed that up to call it a $10 million discount. That is diabolical.
I mean, I always gotta
girl math. You ever have your girl?
You know what? You know why? Because it's Cowboys fans who mostly giving us shit about the $50 million quarterback when theirs is paid $10 million more, and he can't do anything. He can't win a playoff game if his life depended on it.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about the money. It doesn't bother me at all. I don't care.
Yeah, I know. But look, man, what a great time to be alive. What a great time to be an Eagles fan. Like, this is kind of what it is, man. Like, as I was saying to you in the tweet, like, positive vibes. I was so nervous that we were here on this. I mean, I don't know, like, how you could possibly do that after this
I'll
game.
tell you what, Sileo was a little cranky first, and I had to hit him with some business before we
Man, no. These are the moments from now on. Like, if I'm hearing criticism after we win the Lombardi, I don't give a shit. Doesn't matter. We're holding up the damn Lombardi. You know what I mean? Like, this is it. It's winning time, man. 2 weeks. You know what I mean? It's exciting. You have to get your Super Bowl party stuff lined up, man. It's time to go, Big Z. It's time to go. Come on.
Yes, it is.
Let's
No
bring
doubt about
home this championship. That's all it's about, man.
All right, brother. I
I'm so
appreciate you
happy.
joining in, man. Good stuff. We'll see how it all plays out in 2 weeks. All right, brother?
Yeah, man. Good stuff, man.
Good stuff. Anton joining the show. Great stuff from Anton. Great stuff from everybody in the chat. All right. That was a lot of fun. I might have to end this show and go live again because I want to react to the Kansas City Chiefs winning the game. And now it will be the Eagles versus the Chiefs in Super Bowl 59 rematch. Why is my gut feeling right now that we're gonna blow them out? I know I shouldn't say. I know it's in early 2 weeks. This is not my official prediction, but why, as I sit here on January 26th at 10:04 p.m. Eastern time with the Eagles and fans and everybody celebrating the big win today down on Broad Street, why do I feel like the Philadelphia Eagles are going to blow out the Chiefs? I don't know why. I don't know why I feel Flex. I can't answer why I feel like that, but I just do. If this team plays like Akbar, you might be right because we're better. If we play like we played today, I don't think it will. I think M. Reyes might be close. 52-3. I just feel good about the game, man. Look, I know the Chiefs are good, and they have a weird, uncanny ability to win games. Every game they play feels like it's close. And Clark Hunt's speaking again. It's you got to look. We talked about tipping the cap to the Commanders. How about tipping the cap to the Chiefs? They every year, it's amazing, man. It's amazing the run that they're on right now. But it all comes to an end in 2 weeks with the Philadelphia Eagles. We'll see how that breaks out, how that plays out. Anybody else? I see somebody just asked for the link, I think. Does somebody else want to join me? Is that what I'm getting? I'll put the link out one more time. If you're coming on, I got to keep it quick because I'm going to remake a new stream and I'm going to do a reaction to Eagles Chiefs Super Bowl as a separate video, by the way. So if you're joining in, be quick with it, please. Clary Boy says he just woke up. What do you mean just woke up? Just woke up. The game ended just 4 hours ago. Andy Reid just did a big, how about them Chiefs? Yo, can I say something to y'all Eagles fans? I still love Andy Reid. I'm sorry. Obviously, I want to beat his ass in 2 weeks, but I still love Andy Reid. I do. I do. All right, let's go to Clary Boy. Got to be quick with it, brother, but I'm having you on. What's up?
Oh, what up, man?
A little bit ago, and now I'm talking to you. The whole house.
Yeah, dude. So I passed the fuck out, dude. I've been up, man. My nerves, I guess. I don't know what it was, but dude, I didn't sleep well, and I drank really well today. You know what I'm saying? And then I drank really well when I was like, dude, we're up by like 20. I'm fucking on point, and it's in NOLA, dude. That's like two and a half hours through.
Are you
3
gonna
hours
go?
away from me. Dude, I want to try. I want to do whatever the fuck I can. I told her like
they got to be pricey.
Yeah,
They got to be pricey.
Oh, I already saw that. That's $5,000, but hopefully I can find like the vet ticks. You know what I
Right.
mean? Where I get it for free.
Maybe. Hey,
You
maybe.
know?
You never know. You never
But
know.
even
What'd you
still,
think of the
dude-
game though, man. 55-23. Holy crap.
Dude, I tried telling you, dude, you know what's fucking wild is I said this shit happened in the very beginning because I was like, the Lions, nah, you know? And then once I knew this was going to happen, I knew, dude, you can't beat a team 3 times in a row, usually in a season. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We lost that last one, so it was kind of like a wrap after that. I thought we were
doubt.
going to win this. And then on top of it, we get Andy back. You know?
I know.
Fucking
I
Andy
know.
Reid. And then, dude, Mahomes, dude, he's great, man, but I can't stand that motherfucker either. Especially
Why?
how he plays the refs. I don't know, man. I'm just not a huge fan of him. It's
I
like
get
that Brady. I think it's like the Brady effect. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
nobody
think-
likes the guy at the top of the mountain, brother. That's how it goes.
So think about this, man, right? We lost to Brady. We beat Brady. We lost to Mahomes, and we're going to beat that motherfucker this weekend. Or, 2 weeks from now, dude. You know,
Who
I'm
was
fucking.
that said that? Shit. Why am I blank? Oh, it was Dover's Army who said it's been written. You know, you got to right the wrong. We write it with Brady, and now we're going to do it with Mahomes. It should be good, man.
Dude, I think this season's been written by just, by Sills' Maloink, dude. That dude, anything, this
I don't know,
season's
man.
been
I don't
written
know.
for
Hey,
us,
listen,
man.
you sounded a lot like Sills a couple of these post-game shows. You can't
Dude,
run.
I will say this, dude. I am, Trent Dilfer Hurts.
He was not Dilfer today.
No, dude, he was ball. This was close to 22 Hurts.
Yeah.
It was very, very exciting to see that. Plus, on top of it, Kellen Moore called a good ass game.
Yeah, he did.
Kellen Moore,
Kellen's
let's
great.
be honest, man. Kellen Moore's been kind of depressing. The
Yeah.
only thing that's been good, it's like, he just hands the ball off to Saquon. And if Saquon didn't, if Saquon doesn't bust for those like 60-yard runs, are we going to keep running the ball? Because that's not the Eagles' way. Let's just be honest. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
So usually it's like, oh, he would do it, and then they start going back to the pass game, and it's like, man, I don't know. Maybe, and then what's even better, Kellen Moore hasn't got picked up as a head coach. So we might even have this in a whole nother season. That's kind of like, just build on. I don't know. Maybe, man. I don't know. All I can say is Jalen Hurts looked good. Vic Fangio, man, his defenses, dude, you have to think about it, man. We've had the cover band for like 3 years here. We even had the cover band. We had the cover band when we were in the Super Bowl the last time we had 70 sacks. Because that's what they were trying to do was his defense. Remember, that's why they signed, who's the guy that's the head coach now in Arizona? The one that was too worried about for the Super Bowl, too worried about getting a head coaching job instead of actually get prepared for the Super Bowl. You know who was the coach? Who was the coach right now for Arizona?
Gannon, Jonathan Gannon. My
Yeah,
bad.
remember Jonathan Gannon was supposed to be his style of defense because they always wanted Vic Fangio.
Right.
And I always was just like, man, this defense sucks, man. Like I like that blitzing Jim Johnson, you know what I mean? But I was like, yeah, we signed him, and I was just kind of like, well, you know what? This year, the Eagles' offense, I thought this offense was going to be closer to like what the Lions were this year, on like going into the season. I thought they were going to be the greatest show on grass, not turf.
I hear you.
And then I was like, dude, we have a top 15 defense. We're going to make the Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
Know.
And then that didn't happen. We had the number 1 defense, and we had a top 10 offense, you know what I mean? But our pass game was really what was missing. And then I saw today, and I was like, dude, like, we might win the Super Bowl by 20 points if we play like today.
Dude, I'm pretty sure we will if we play like we did today.
And I was like, holy shit, man. And then Dos Equis went down smooth. The next thing you know, I'm running on no sleep. I'm fucking excited. I'm drunk. Boom, I'm passed out on the fucking couch. My wife's next to me. I didn't even know it.
It happens to the best of us. Not me anymore. I don't drink anymore. But it happens. It's happened to everybody at some point. All right, brother. I've got to run. I appreciate it.
I'll talk to you, man. Have a good one. Dude, we're in the fucking Super Bowl, dude. You stoked?
Good. It does feel good, man. I'm excited. I'm most excited because I do this now, you know, and I get to enjoy this moment and these weeks and this build up with all of you guys, with the great people in the chat and with the community. I'm most excited about doing it with everybody here. I didn't have a chance to do that in 22, so I'm excited for that.
You know you had the good juju today because every time you wear that JAKIB gear that you got on right now, we fucking ball out, you know.
I'm gonna have to wear this in the Super Bowl.
And remember, you said you're not a superstitious dude, but I think I brought it to your attention because the games.
Well, no, I will say I did go one superstition today. Yeah. I didn't have the black Kango out. All right. And when I saw the picture of Jalen rolling up in a black Kango, I'm like, all right, I'm fucking wearing a black Kango on the show today. So I did do that. And maybe you could call that superstitious. But all right, brother, I got to run. I appreciate you.
I'll talk to you, man. I appreciate you having me on.
Yep. See you, man. Good stuff from Clary. Boy, let's get to my guy, HKP, here joining me on the show. What's up, brother? How you doing?
Yo. What's up, man? I feel good, man.
You should
it's
feel
a great
good. We
day.
should all feel good, man. That was a great game,
It's a great day, man. It's a great day, man.
What'd you think
I was
of the game?
celebrating. I was been supposed to be in here, but I was, I had to celebrate a little bit, man. It feels good, man.
I hear you. Wait, you're not in the city, are you? I thought you said you were.
Yeah, no, I live in DC. So the celebration was a little bit different because I got Commanders fans in my household. So
right.
It was good to celebrate a little bit and rub it in. But
you can talk a little shit. Yeah,
it feels great, and that's the best part about it. Was a lot of people doubted us in this moment. They doubted us. A lot of people picked the Commanders to win this game, and that's the best part about it. Is when you put up 50 points, it's really you leave a doubt. There was without a doubt that we won that game. We didn't leave any room for error, any room for excuses or anything. We just, we really manhandled them from start to finish.
All right,
it was an excellent game.
What impressed you the most today about the Eagles' NFC Championship game?
Is that we did what we were supposed to do. I think from the first play of the game, just handing the ball off. Like, I love that Kellen Moore just kept it simple. No extra bootleg, no, I'm going to do this, try to mix up the defense, throw a toss to Saquon Barkley and let him do what he do. You feel what I'm saying? And from the first play of the game, I feel like it just set the tone to show them that, hey, we're going to run the ball until you guys could stop it. And I feel like that's just what we did, and we just played off that from the beginning of the game, and they never stopped us. Like, it was never a time where they stopped us and showed any type of resistance to us. We really did what we wanted to do for the entirety of the game just by setting the tone with that run off the first play of the game, 60 yards.
No doubt about it, brother. All right, man. I appreciate it. We got Eagles Chiefs 2 weeks. You like the Birds, and that's a good one, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great game. It's my home, so I'm not. It's my homes, but I feel like we've seen them before, and I feel like it's just a completely different team. I feel like in that game, even that year, we ran the ball very, very well with Miles Sanders. You feel what I'm saying?
But now we just Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's just a little bit different when you have Saquon Barkley, a guy that could just take the ball for 60 yards behind that great line. I love that we have 2 weeks, so now our line can really, really get healthy, and we can come in there 100%, and we can just be the dogs that we are. Like Landon Dickerson said, I remember one time I watched the pregame. I think it had to be Landon Dickerson, and he was like, I choose violence. And when I hear that from linemen, that's a lineman. That's not a defensive end. That ain't no, you know what I mean? And that just shows you that we have a dog mentality with our team. We come in there every game, and that's how them linemen really play. They come out there to push guys on the ground. And Saquon Barkley never seen A gaps and all that stuff like that. He ain't seen that in New York. It's a little bit different. And like I said, number one defense as well, really, really gonna put up resistance. So it's gonna be a great game. As long as we can stay up in the game and not keep it close. Like, you see how the Bills had an opportunity to pull away in that game, and they still allowed the Chiefs to stay in it when they didn't get that 4th down conversion. And that really cost them the game. You can't have close games like that with Mahomes. I feel like we got to be up by 10-14. We really got to put our foot in the gas and really pull away from them. A close game is really going to be tough to beat a team like Kansas City. So, but I love our chances to be up 14-21 with our defense, so we'll be playing like dogs. So we'll see how it goes, Dan. Man, I appreciate you, bro. All
right, bro. I appreciate you joining in, man. Great takes as always. Be safe out there in DC. Don't let nobody fuck with you.
I'm staying inside, man. We ain't doing all that. I appreciate you, Zander, man.
They all hot.
I appreciate all.
Thank you, man.
Hey, man, I appreciate all you do, man. Have a blessed one, man.
Thank you, bro. You too, man. Good stuff, HKP. Great stuff. One more, everybody. I got one more of the great guest of JAKIB Nation. And then, if you guys will do it, all right, I'm going to be doing it anyway, but I'm going to ask you guys. I'm going to make another link, another show, and it'll have a new thumbnail with Eagles Chiefs, and we will prep a little bit for the rematch. All right, we will prep a little bit for the rematch. Let's get to my guy, Chris 3K, joining me now on the show. What's going on, my man? How you feeling?
What's going on, Zander? You got me?
I got you, man. Look good, sound good. You feeling confident after that big win, 55-23, brother? We blew them out.
Feeling really confident, man. Just first and foremost, can't say it enough, man. The job this coaching staff did this year is nothing short of phenomenal. Like I said, we obviously the bigger picture is the bigger picture, but we can't, in the process of things, lose sight of this team was 2-2 after that Tampa game, and there's no way in the world we would have thought they would finish an NFC Championship game with 55 points. You know, so hats off to the coaching staff, hell of a job. Today, I really thought, man, players were great. Kellen Moore was phenomenal today, dog.
Yeah, he called a really good game.
He was in his bag. I mean, some of these end arounds to Devontae, I saw him get Goddard a few handoffs. Like he looked like, a head coach candidate. You know what I'm saying? So Kellen was great. I thought the defense yet again was what they've been all year, man. I mean, our guys, one thing I can say, our all-pro guys in these playoffs have validated that they're all pros. Zach Bond is phenomenal. We got to make sure we keep him and re-sign him at any cost. He's been phenomenal. But I say that to say all this, though, as another Philly great would say, job not done. Job is not done, especially considering now we know who we got. We owed him for what happened 2 years ago. And so it would only be fitting to get them back now. Feel a lot better, though, this time around because
I do too.
This isn't James Bradbury and Darius Slay back there and an inexperienced or decent. Well, not inexperienced because Gannon had experience. It's just, whether his head was there or not, I don't know. But
he doesn't have experience like Vic Fangio does, though.
Not Vic Fangio, no.
Yeah.
So we're not going to be caught off guard with jet sweeps and all those other trickery things that Andy has prepared. I think Vic will have his guys ready to go. Personally speaking, if we're talking strictly personnel, Washington has much better offensive personnel than Kansas City does. It's just Kansas City's reputation of, rightfully so.
And they got the great equalizer in Mahomes, man.
Right.
He played good tonight. I didn't catch the game. I've been live, but I think he had a pretty good game.
He did. But like I said, man, and obviously he's sort of the final boss. He's the ultimate test of how good your defense really is. But man, the way we've been playing all year, this defense, we can play any style. We've been great all year. We saw Lamar, we saw Joe Burrow. Obviously, he's the best of the bunch, but it's not like, in 22 we hadn't seen those kinds of quarterbacks. So we've seen elite guys all year, and the defense has been really good all year. So hats off to the team, man. But I feel really good in a couple weeks, man, with the way this defense looks. These guys will be ready to go, and I think in a few weeks we'll be pretty happy here.
No doubt about it, brother. Thank you so much for joining, for coming on for me. You've been great. I had you, I think, a couple times now, and I appreciate you doing it, brother. Great stuff.
Yes, sir, man. Go Birds always. Let's get ready for a celebration, hopefully in a couple weeks in New Orleans. Hey, real quick, are you guys gonna do a show down there?
Where in New Orleans? I'm trying. it's hard because I'm one man. So like,
right.
I know I have to figure out if I'll be able to go with tech and everything that I would need to be able to set up from there and then fly Sills and John. But I'm definitely trying to do it. I'm definitely going to try. I'm going to give it my best effort.
Well, before I get up out of here, man, this dynasty got to end at some point. And what better way to do it than in 2 weeks?
No doubt about it, bro. No doubt about it.
All
All
right,
right, man. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Good stuff, man. Chris 3K. He's good, man. I like him. I'm not sure what his name is in the chat. I forget. I should have asked him, but he was great. All right, everybody. What a great show. What a great freaking show. The Philadelphia Eagles are NFC champions. The Kansas City Chiefs are AFC champions. And the rematch, the Super Bowl 57 rematch, which will be Super Bowl 59, is upon us. It's officially here. We're not speculating anymore. We're not wondering who our opponent is. We're not wondering if we'll ever see the Chiefs in the Super Bowl again. We're here. It is here. It feels crazy to say that. It still hasn't quite set in yet, but the Philadelphia Eagles are going to the Super Bowl, and the Kansas City Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl. Will we stop history and make our own history, or will the Kansas City Chiefs do something that's never been done in NFL history? It's an unbelievable matchup. The storylines are going to be off the chain. You just heard Chris 3K bring up one. Vic Fangio versus Andy Reid. I'll say that again. Vic Fangio versus Andy Reid. How about that for old heads? Where are all my old heads in the chat? How about that for a battle of old heads? Unbelievable, man. I'm so jacked up for it already. I can already feel my blood tingling a little bit. I don't know how I'm going to sleep tonight. We got the big show in the morning. I already said it once. All right, I'm going to be live a lot this week and next week. If this team wins the Super Bowl, I'm going to be live on this channel for 18 hours a day. Look at my guy, James checking in. Got to tip the cap. Respect. James says, congrats, Santa. Respect. Not mad one bit, bro. Yo, you guys had a great season, man. But you're out. James, I'm sorry I had to be this way. I'm sorry it had to be this way, Jammers. I'm sorry you had to go down in flames, Jammers. But that's what had to be done. That's what had to be done. It was exciting. It was a fun year. Your quarterback's great. Your team's in a good spot. You guys are finally back to compete in the NFC East. But y'all go back to your little fucking cave. Don't come out until the season starts next year, okay? Because we just blew you out so bad that there's not a person in your fan base that can say shit to a Philadelphia Eagles fan. You know, we lost to the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. We felt like we got a bad call. You can bicker about that. You lose 55-23. Man, I don't want to hear a thing. I don't want to hear nothing. But James, I love you, brother. I appreciate you for being here, man. It was a great year for you guys, man. It really was. It really was. I'll tip my cap to you, man. It was a really good year for you guys. But anyway, I got to get out of here, everybody. I want to make a new link. I want to go and do a reaction, all right? I want to react to the Super Bowl rematch that's officially upon us. All right? We ready, baby. We ready. Thank you all. What a great show. And by the way, we crushed it on Super Chats. It's the most Super Chats we've ever gotten in a show. Okay? Mark Holmes, I'm not going to be able to do it. I don't have the time, bro. I do not have the time. I'll be here all day. I have 118 of them. I'll try and find yours. Barkley, last MVP finalist, still alive, going for a Super Bowl. I read most of them, but I can't. Brother, I got so many. I got more stuff to react to. I told everybody I might not be able to get to every chat, so I'm not going to be able to do it tonight. But everybody that sent a chat, it's appreciated, and I love you, and I appreciate you. And I've told everybody that. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. Lock in. The channel's not done tonight. I'm going live again in about 10 minutes. All right. Maybe 10 minutes, 5 minutes, however quick I can get this turnaround. You know, it's not easy. I'm not the only, I don't only come up here. I got to set the shows up, create the graphics, create the thumbnail, create the link, do the tags and the YouTube SEO and all sorts of stuff. Stuff that Akbar would never know because he was crying about technology earlier. All right. Love you all. Appreciate it. See you on the next show. coming up next on JAKIB Sports.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The following is a real testimonial from the father of a young injured victim.
I didn't think she was going to make it.
Major Perry's daughter was the victim of a horrific accident caused by someone else's negligence.
If you don't find the right counselor, law firm that you're looking for, you will get lost in the wilderness.
Badly injured? Call the Fritz and Bianculli Law Firm at 215-458-2222 and find out why they say, "We got this."
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong as the #1 health insurer in the region. No IBX is always looking out for you.
We noticed that there was mold creeping into our basement about a year and a half ago, and wanted to make sure that we were getting rid of the problem permanently. We actually reached out to several different contractors to get it resolved, and actually 2 of them recommended DryTech to us as a long-term solution. Other than the noise factor, we wouldn't even know that there was work being done on the basement level. It's really been a clean process for us.
Score and save this football season on your car insurance. Before the next game, save up to 40% on your auto insurance policy. That's right, 40% savings. Call an audible this season and contact the Del Val Insurance Group. They're an advocate for you, not an insurance company. That means they'll get you the right coverage and save you up to 40%. Call managing partners Fran or Jim of Del Val Insurance, 215-354-0122, or score and save at dvigi.com. dvigi.com.
EAGLES. Eagles.